All right, there we go, and we're live. Got this thing rolling. All right, apologies in advance, everyone. I'm testing out StreamYard's green screen function. As you can see, I'm gonna use some better lighting here. The standard fluorescents aren't exactly working well with my complexion. So yeah, it's gonna kind of look like garbage going from here on forward. But just please put up with it until I can get a couple things squared away here as far as light bulbs and all that. With the
No, I'm
lockdown,
just
it's been a
with
bit
you the
difficult.
entire time I'm here.
Oh shit! By all means, go for it. By all means, crack jokes galore. I mean, geez,
It's like, right now it's looking like your nose is like split down the middle.
Yeah, I know. Looks like I got the Michael Jackson syndrome. But where are my manners? Let me introduce the two people I've got with me. There's my new buddy Warlock, who's a prepper, and Tara, my sweetheart from Florida.
Hi.
So
I'm drinking Corona, so I'm probably gonna be a bitch more than usual.
Like I care. I've got a few here myself. I'm gonna crack into later on. Ooh, doesn't that look fun on the green screen? Hey, see-through beer.
Where's the lime?
Yep, I'm drinking the virus liquid.
Oh yeah, that's right. People weren't buying a lot of Corona because they were scared about getting the virus from the beer or something.
You know what? Baby, I'm picky about my beer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've always liked Coronas with a little bit of salt and a little bit of lime. Good to go. Definitely good with the work. Regrettably, that don't cure the virus.
No, but it makes it a hell of a lot more fun.
Oh yeah, I'm sure regrettably the poor people over in China have been resorting to less than tactful manners as far as attempts to try and cure themselves.
But I got lucky. I didn't have to buy the beer. My neighbor brought it over when I invited her over for the fish fry.
That's good. Nice. Oh. One fun thing I found out. Get this. Now, the funny thing is normally all the gun laws in this city and the general state are absolute bullshit. Here's the funny thing. A little something I found out. Okay, so normally you can't get one of these under normal circumstances at all. Nope, can't get it. But as you can see, there's a little something missing here. Fun thing I found out. Check this out. Illegal? Legal. Illegal? Legal. Rifle? Pistol.
That's because your state is fucked up.
Yeah, no shit.
Here,
yeah, I know.
I could have one of those fully set up and nobody can bug me about it.
Yep.
Turns out the only thing I had to do is take the butt off the damn thing. And if I really wanted to go the extra mile, I could just take one of those braces, just literally screw it right back in here.
Well, like I said, your state's fucked up.
Yeah, what's the difference between you being able to defend yourself when shit falls apart, the dumbasses in the hood having full auto shit? It's fucking fucked up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the only good thing is they're not going to be chasing after them anytime soon. They're deciding to prioritize attempting to lock down the state. And as of, let's see here, it's going on 3 minutes past 10. Let's see, that's about exactly 5 hours I've survived this quarantine lockdown and all that, and I've yet to see the United Nations or the National Guard strolling through my neighborhood or any of the other shithole neighborhoods nearby.
Oh, they're on their way because here in town, apparently, through some sources, they were trucking out tanks on train through Florida heading up north.
Nice.
You have to keep in mind, though, Chicago is a main hub for transport, so they could be going anywhere. They could be going out west, too.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up because you mentioned that somebody snapped a good picture of somebody putting, was it Humvees?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It was Humvees going on the bed of a truck going down I-94.
Yeah, right on. You can see it right off the pass.
Yeah. Chances are they could have been taking those to a couple different places. I mean, they're like literally 3 shithole neighborhoods over and about that direction, roughly, give or take. I mean, there's a supply base.
Yep.
So they could have been sending it there. I mean, literally up over on the north side, there's a National Guard base up there, so they might have decided, all right, let's go send them up there. Why the hell not? The gays are going to be parading anyways. Because, I mean, everyone's expecting absolute mayhem. I mean, getting the rest of the stuff for this thing, thankfully for a change was fairly easy, because the good thing is it literally, the president said, okay, now here's what we're going to do. All your bullshit gun laws out the fucking window. Nobody's got to wait. Hey, grab, get the fuck home. Quarantine time. Everything's going to be A-okay. So literally just getting one of these, and everyone else grabbing everything else off the damn shelf.
Yep.
Nobody had to wait. It was literally like constitutional transaction. The only goofball.
Shit. No, you go. Sorry, bro. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Burnside, go check Discord.
Sure, let me check that real quick. But yeah, the thing I was gonna mention was like the funny thing is, literally the thing that was flying off the shelves the most was 22s, because everyone was just buying those for some reason.
I don't know why you would buy a 22. Getting a shotgun is so much cheaper, and you don't have to really aim. You just point and shoot.
I'd rather stick with my 5.56. That's just me, though.
Burnside, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see that image?
Yeah. Yep, I got that. That's nice. Yeah. Oh, he looks like he's getting some Bradleys there. I'll have to go screen share that in a second.
So out by you, it's 22 that's disappearing. Out here, it's 9mm.
Oh, Jesus. We were out of just about everything. 22 was the only thing that was left. Like, I lucked on getting a few things I got. They were reserving 9mm for first purchasers that were getting a 9mm handgun. They had a special. Whereas you get a handgun, you get 2 boxes of ammo for around $800, $900, give or take. And other than that,
$900 for what?
For your choice of basically 4 different types of 9mm handguns and 2 boxes of ammunition.
I just bought a Glock 19 Gen 5 with 100 rounds for $550.
Oh, yeah, that's a better deal than what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I mean, where I wound up going, a few places that were available is like there's like these ARs, shotguns, handguns, are literally flying off the damn shelves. The only oddball thing was I literally went all the way out by my dad's place in the absolute middle of nowhere to go to the exchange. They went, "Oh, we know you. Yeah. Little Henry, ain't that you? Yeah, I'm here. Oh, what you need? Oh, I'm just getting this, and that. Oh, well, yeah, 1 box of ammo. All rest stuff gone." And I look on the wall. That an actual MP40? Oh, yeah, that's them new ones that are sending over from Germany. You want it? Gonna be $800. And I'm like, I don't know. What's it take? They're telling me this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take that one off the wall. Yeah. You're going to have to take buttstock off. You won't be illegal. And I was like, wait, say that again? Yeah. All you got to do is take this thing off here. Good for Chicago. You still living there, yeah? I was like, yeah. All right, yeah, here you go. Hands me a fucking screwdriver. And I'm like, yes, thank you, Cletus.
You like fucking around talking about how bad Florida is. That you sit there and do that accent perfectly. You'd fit in just fine.
That's what they sound all the way in the middle of absolute fucking nowhere, Illinois. The good portion of them sound like that. And those are literally the only places where I could really get anything. Like everywhere in the suburbs, everywhere near Indiana, gone. I went to like literally 5 different places, including the exchange, and I was like, fucking hell. Because, a couple people were like, well, I was going to go to some of the pawn shops around the area, and I'm like, you're going to go to the ghetto to go to a pawn shop to try and... No.
You're going to get robbed on the way out of the motherfucker.
Yeah. Literally, like fucking just getting this damn thing from the fucking exchange. The guy literally had his family sitting there. All these good old boys just fucking sitting there, fucking clad in their fucking old school BDUs from back when a couple of them were in the service. It's like, holy shit, it's the Vietnam Brigade. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna make sure nobody robs us, man. We know what every other fucking pawn shop in town and all the way in Chicago's going. I was like, oh yeah, do tell.
You want to hear
Oh,
what they're
hell.
doing out by me?
Oh yeah, by all means.
So tonight alone, I was listening to my police scanner, right? There were 4 houses out by me that were broken into, and all they're fucking taking is toilet paper and food. That's it.
What?
Yep. They ain't taking no TVs, no Xboxes, toilet paper and food. Shit you not. No pun intended.
All right, duly noted. I'll make sure I put some cans of tuna and some TP over by the window. If it comes, I could just go, here's your ass wipes. Wow. So that's literally that's all they're taking. They're not attempting to shoot people. They're not attempting to hurt people. They're literally stealing like random bits of like kibble and fucking canned food and toilet paper.
Yeah, for some reason, this has become the fucking asswipe famine of 2020.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to put that title up. Hold on.
Oh, and by the way, you can credit that to
Hold
Well, yeah,
on.
they don't want to catch the Kung flu.
Okay, ass wipe.
It's a respiratory disease.
Not an anal disease, thankfully.
Yeah, my brother came up with that one.
It's funny as hell.
Okay. That is definitely going as a banner. Ass wipe apocalypse. That's a good one.
No,
Yes.
asswipe famine of 2020.
But it's not a famine if it's coming from your butt.
No, it's the fact that we don't have toilet paper because people go and buy fucking cases of it and hoard it.
I know that's absolutely nuts. Like you think people would have done that with like vitamin C and vitamins,
Dude, I
minerals.
would have done that with fucking MREs, and I hate MREs. Well, most
Yeah.
of them. Some of them are good.
Mm-hmm. God. Anything else wacky going on over there, Warlock?
No, I ain't been out yet today, so staying inside. Fuck this.
Oh, I don't blame you, man. I mean, from what I understand, they're mainly having like the local police enforce that lockdown and that, and most cops out here, they got. We could barely keep people in this fucking neighborhood as is on the goddamn.
Our
They're not
governor,
gonna give a fuck.
our governor's telling the state cops and local cops not to arrest people because of fears they're gonna have it. Only non-violent offenders, though. So
I see. Oh, that's good. So basically, if you're looting your toilet paper and your canned goods, oh yeah, you're good to go.
you'll get blown out my door. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's funny.
Fuck that. I'm gonna hop out my door like Scarface.
Oh yeah, just literally go up there. Say hello to my little friend. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, that's funny. That is funny as hell. Hell. So, Sweetheart, how's the lockdown going over by you? You surviving all right?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Half of these fuckers in this neighborhood will fucking die when the food runs out. Me, I'll go out and kill all their cats and dogs and eat them.
Time to do some raids.
And I'll even go and I'll kill the fucking snakes, birds. I don't fucking care.
I'll eat a goddamn coyote if I have to.
Nah, they're diseased.
I mean, worst case scenario, I'm saying.
Find yourself a snake and kill it and eat it. Just cut the head off about 4 inches from the actual head itself. Make sure you don't end up busting the venom pockets.
I'm in Michigan. They ain't have those. Well, not that big, anyways. Got lots of deer though. Possum,
Then take your truck and run into one.
Oh God, possum, Jesus! I don't know if I can eat
Raccoon.
possum, man. We've got just about everything else because we've got the swamp over here, the actual swamp, not the guys running the state, and we've got a couple different preserves, and then on top of that, right over where I used to work over at the dock, they've got coyotes that are constantly going around there. The fucking gangbangers are literally feeding them.
That's because they think they're dogs.
They're
Probably.
trying to attack and bite people. They're making
one-
TikTok with some bullshit.
One dude, I swear, was doing that. I swear one dude fucking was. Because I literally seen it was over at 95th and L. Literally. Like, I'd see the coyotes, they'd walk down the tracks, they go take a right, they go up the street, and they go up to the same damn apartment complex, and I hear some guy speaking in Spanish. Crap. And it didn't sound like he was just talking to another person. So I was like, this guy talking to the coyotes? Absolutely nuts.
Well, yeah, he probably symbolizes with them. He probably was a coyote.
Yeah, probably, man. It really wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. You know, a coyote talking to a coyote. How comically paradoxical.
Right?
Hell. I mean, shoot. That's a funny fucking paradox. But yeah, that's a good thing. Is at least the only thing we gotta worry about is people getting the dumb idea that, okay, the only things we should steal are not fuck cars, fuck catalytic converters. We're getting toilet paper and we're gonna go get some yams. That's so hysterical.
They're hoarding hand sanitizer, toilet paper, disinfectant, and surgical masks.
Yep.
Oh my God. I've been telling people forever those surgical masks don't do anything.
Nope, because if it gets in your eyes, you're screwed too. It's airborne.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like-
still by contact. It just can linger.
Yeah.
Me and some people got into an argument. Apparently, they don't know how airborne bacterials work or airborne viruses. And finally, I said, "Fuck you, I'm done."
Regrettably, a lot of these.
The N95s will help to an extent, but
Because
Mhm.
you know, I'm sitting there saying, "Dude, if it were airborne, a fuck ton more people would be sick, and we wouldn't be having to test people that are in contact with, you know, physical contact with people that have the coronavirus."
Mhm.
And I got tired of talking to morons that think that Google gives them a degree.
yep. It's
I hate people who
airborne.
do that.
It's airborne in the sense when you cough, the particulates are airborne until they hit a surface. It's not like fucking mustard gas and everywhere.
Yeah, there's
That is called aerosolized. There is a huge fucking difference.
yeah, they don't
Mhm.
understand. Apparently things are saying that it can stay in the air for 30 minutes. No, the hell it can't. It has to come down.
Yes,
First of
it'll
all.
hit. It can live on certain
Yeah.
surfaces for up to 72 hours.
That I believe. But I don't believe it'll stay there if that certain surface is in the blazing hot fucking sun. That bitch is going to fry it.
Yep.
I'm in Florida.
More likely than not,
In
yeah.
a few months, we are going to be literally on Satan's balls over a fire.
You
It's
mean
not
like
gonna
Iraq?
last that long.
Oh, yeah.
Or Iran?
No, Florida.
I was thinking the same thing. Iraq, Iran, Kuwait. Oh wait, we don't have that many dead bodies yet.
At least you guys aren't that close to Michiganistan.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got hey, Detroit on lockdown yet? Are they still sitting there over in Pontiac going, fuck that, I'm gonna get shot.
I don't know. Maybe if they actually went in there. I don't think they'll get shot. They'll probably get blown the fuck up. Someone will have flashbacks of Afghanistan or some shit and come at him with fucking bomb vest and blow up a Bradley or some shit.
Possibly. I mean, not gonna lie, they call us Iraq, but we don't literally look like Iraq. Detroit over there, they're pretty close, man. They're pretty damn
Mhm.
close. on a hot summer day, it pretty much looks like fucking the streets of Jesus. What was the capital called before we blew it up? Oh, Shitistan?
Mosul?
I think that's what it was. Was it Mosul fucked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked like the streets of Mosul fucked on a hot summer day. I bet you.
That's why I'm glad I'm on the west side of this shithole, but oh well.
Oh yeah, no, I feel
Could
you
be
there,
worse. Could be in California.
man. Oh man, they're going absolutely nuts. They're losing it because over in California, you don't have to do this fancy little trick. You can get
They've
all sorts.
given up. They've given up trying to quarantine it. They
Yeah.
said that
Oh,
they
yeah.
think 56% of their population in that state will get it.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for the zombies still. I mean, this shit came from the Umbrella Corporation. I'm waiting for my zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Wuhan facilities logo literally is a green variant of the Umbrella Corp symbol from the game.
It's a
Which
turquoise
comically
variant.
enough,
And the words on it say Shanghai Umbrella when you get them translated into English.
What's the
yeah.
what's the Twinkie situation out there?
Oh god, you don't even want to buy the Twinkies.
See, I wouldn't, or excuse me, Tallahassee, I wouldn't know because I don't like Twinkies.
I don't either. It's a movie reference.
Yes, I know. Hence I called it Tallahassee.
That's awesome. You know, they actually got a sequel to that movie. I've yet to see it.
I want to see it.
Either.
Hopefully it's good. Not like the last Terminator movie. The last Terminator movie was fucking god awful, what I'm aware of. Ugh.
I'm waiting for it to come on Netflix.
Yeah, that's probably the only way I'm gonna watch it is either on Netflix or just on the internet. Yeah, the fucking Californians, them lucky bastards. They can get a whole bunch of these in the drum mag variant now. I'm sure a lot of the pinkos are freaking out about it because I mean, God forbid people actually be able to arm themselves up, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't have to do this fancy little trick where I have to go like that. Whole fucking thing's legal. Don't even have to wait 3 days for the damn thing. Gotta love that. President says go fuck yourself. You can get your guns, and the state of Illinois and California wet their fucking pants because they're like, but we want you to wait 3 days to get your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was the good thing. For me to get that and any of the other shit that I got my hands on, all I had to do was wait for the computer over at the store to talk to the fucking computer at the ATF office and say, he's good. That's it. Boom. Out the door.
I walked out with my handgun in less than 30 minutes.
Fucking sweet. That's quicker than me, man. Damn, all right. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then I had to take it to the county sheriff's because our state requires it to be registered.
oh, that sucks. Damn. Thankfully, I didn't have to register anything.
Well, it's only handguns that have to be registered. Everything else I don't give a fuck about.
Intricate little loophole there. All right.
Yep.
So in your case, it'd be better if that buttstock were attached then, because then you don't have to register.
Yep, and then I can just take the buttstock off.
Pistol. Gotta love that shit.
It's the same way here.
Mhm.
You have to register handguns, but shotguns and rifles, no.
Oh, that's hysterical. Hell. I do have a couple things as far as little tidbits here. I believe Scoob sent us something. Let me see if I can go ahead and share that, because I believe he had some Bradleys that were going around the neighborhood.
I'm waiting for that shit out here. But I live out in the middle of nowhere, so I should be fine.
That's good. There we go. Boom.
That's in my area, apparently.
That's in yours?
From what I understand, the person who sent it out said that it was in the Gainesville, Florida area. And looking at it, it looks like that's around 441 because it's the wrong side of road for 301. But that's on the railroad tracks. And we transport all the time.
Yep.
Okay.
And I said that most likely they're being transported up to the Naval Air Force Base in Jacksonville to be worked on, because that's where they do the maintenance.
Worked on or
cool. So,
upgraded?
ooh,
Do what?
upgrade.
Worked on or upgraded?
Both.
Sweet.
Because most of these things, they just sit out and outside and get rusty.
Mm.
Can you zoom in on those
Other
at all?
thing that could have been done is Governor Ron DeSantis has shut down our beaches. So it's a good chance he's having those put out in front of the openings to beaches to deter people.
Ah! Florida man versus tank. Come on, baby.
Because
2020.
fucking northerners and shit keep coming down here going, oh, Florida's open. Let's go to the beach.
Oh, man.
motherfucker.
I would come visit purposefully so I could face down one of these fuckers
Yeah.
and just flip it off with my gas mask on.
Why would I have to do that when I can just take you to the local VFW and you can get pictures with one?
Yeah. They have one
Because
out
there
by
won't be
me,
anyone.
too.
Because there won't be anyone yelling at me, telling me, "Sir, this beach is
dude,
closed."
I'm pretty sure she'd hop in there and fucking yell at you, and someone else can take a picture.
Oh yeah.
I'm hungry.
God, that's hysterical. Let me see if I got that that picture that was from I-94.
With those tanks from that you just showed, it looks like they're just going to be upgraded and pushed somewhere else because it doesn't look like phase 2's been done yet. They still need upgrades to become current.
Yeah, most likely upgrades or something.
Yep.
They do all the work up at the base in Jacksonville.
Yeah, come to think of it, I should have probably gone further into Pontiac so I could have seen if they actually had anything over the base while I was over by the exchange. Because, I mean, they got a National Guard post right over there. And I just me thinking, all right, let me go see Cletus.
Funny you say that shit because there's a National Guard post in Pontiac, Michigan, too.
Mall world. Pontiacs think alike, apparently. Ain't that something?
$346 worth of food.
All right. Well, here, let me go show those. I believe these are what you sent me earlier. Boom. I'll try and zoom in a little bit here.
Those are MRAPs.
Oh, Bearcats?
Yep.
You're
they're
telling me
MRAPs.
those are... Oh, I hope they're dumb enough to go and deploy those, man. Oh, my God. I could totally see... Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I've just so I thought those were just oddball looking Humvees because of just the low resolution of it. Those are MRAPs.
Those are.
Oh my God. I have heard so much nasty shit about those. Oh my God. If they are
Easy,
dumb
they're
enough.
easy to
I'm sorry.
disable, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
I've
the
heard of
back,
ice-
there's a silver canister, and if you can aim up your shot right and get a couple shots off at that, you're fucked.
Yeah. Okay, that would explain the shit that I heard. Because yeah, I literally heard like ISIS guys were tailing these things, kind of like how the Mujahideen did back in like Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Yep.
And they were literally just pot shotting these with either high-powered Dragonovs or hitting it with RPGs in the ass end, and then next you know the MRAP would fucking stall and everyone would pile out of the thing.
Yep. That's for the air. That's a tank for the air system
Oh my God.
because those
Dude.
vehicles have a closed air system, so they can withstand any chemical or biological shit.
Okay, so in the off case they send that to that supply base over by Dalton and that, and they decide to roll it to the ghetto. Oh my God. Oh, it's gonna be like Friday the remake.
Good thing I have Shikaz rounds for my Mosin.
Mm-hmm.
Armor piercing incendiary.
Oh, awesome. Those are beautiful. Regrettably, I only got standard for my fancy nice Russian pistol. I couldn't get my hands on anything too fancy. You know,
I
I
got these like 8 years ago from a gun and knife show. Now I guess they're of dubious legality.
I feel you there. I've got a similar problem. Yeah, let me show you this. I've had this one for a couple of years here. Technically, this is a fishing knife, but if by the off chance I go outside that door over there, or around the back over there, and you know, I'm outside my property with this thing on, and I'll get arrested because it's the goofball thing they have is if it's bigger than about yay where the teeth of this thing is at, it's technically illegal. Like you can literally only have a 1 inch blade, and they really don't want you having these nice fancy fixed blades and combat knives and all sorts of shit like
That's fucked up.
that. Yeah. Enter the police state of Shirakistan.
But yet over here in Michigan, I could walk around with my AR on my back fully loaded. They can't say shit.
Oh man. I wish they did some cool shit like that over here. Even in like rural Illinois, over by like where my dad and Cletus and all them live, like all the way out in like Will and Morris and Livingston County or whatever fucking county Morris and the rest of those small towns like Red Dick and so on are. You know, all of the non-Cook County areas that are way the fuck out there that nobody knows about. Even they don't have cool laws we can do that. Fucking the only reason Cletus and his family got away with literally putting on the Nam in World War II PDUs and standing outside the shop is because technically they were on their company's property. So you know, no one could really say shit. They're self-securing the pawn shop, as it were. Fucking Cletus's grandpa sitting there in his fucking discount Wehrmacht uniform and stuff with a fucking Vietnam helmet looking out of place. Poor guy.
Did he have a full plate? Did he have full plate on, or just
He basically had the
PDU?
basic gray. He had the basic gray get up, and then he had like the regular Vietnam era helmets that have the mesh and the camouflage and all that on there.
It looks like
Yeah,
somebody dropped out.
Yeah, Tara went and dropped out. She probably had some connection issues. Decided to leave for the time being. Oh well, not a big deal.
Yeah.
So how long is the lockdown going to be over by you, man?
No idea. I'm
Hmm.
not on lockdown.
Oh, lucky you. Shit.
Yeah,
Hell.
we in my county we've got one case. That's it.
Oh shit, ain't you lucky?
It's all
We've
in
got.
Detroit.
Oh, that figures. They're sitting there sticking their needles, reinfecting themselves. Bastards.
If you go to bridgemi.com, you scroll down, you can actually see a map of everything in my state, county by county,
Nice. Not bad.
and everything the governor has to say.
Interesting. I had one of going to those YouTube pages that you sent me to go and watch what my communist governor and the communist mayor have been going on about. More of the
She is,
usual.
though. She could
Well.
be our vice president.
Oh yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me. You know,
Joe wants a female, and apparently that's his top choice right now.
oh yeah, that's how Lori Lightfoot wound up winning the mayoral race for Chicago. Female, black, and lesbian, a ultimate trifecta.
Yeah, but now it's just a bunch of old white men, and last time they didn't want any old white men.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason Pritzker was able to get in is because he capitalized on the male feminist thing. He went to the March of Our Salaf, March of My Communist, March of Our Lives thing, and he went around in his little suit that he has, because the guy always looks like a fat man in a little suit. I don't care who says what. That dude looks like he's too big for those suits that he's wearing all the time. And he went and put on his vagina hat, And he went, I will stand against President Trump and bring communism to the state of Illinois.
Pretty much.
And that's literally how he won his vote. Gotta love it. Wouldn't surprise me though if about 8 years from now, Lori Lightfoot decides, hey, you know what? I'm gonna run for presidency. It worked for Obama. Why won't it work for me? Let me think here. I think it was, if I remember correctly, over in Illinois, they're locking us down until April 7th. But according to, oh, there we go. We lost him. Uh-oh. We lost Tara, and we lost Warlock. I'm sure they'll reconnect. Time being, I guess I'll just, oh, there's one of them. All right. Let me find the magic button. Okay, there we go. You're connected.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Literally, I went to unplug my computer to bring it outside so I could have a cigarette, and apparently I can't unplug the computer my aunt gave me. It's kind of like your old one that we gave Scoob.
I didn't see. Well, that sucks.
So I'm on my phone, so if I go onto anything like it did to you, it's going to kick me off, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's a bitch.
You just like playing with that thing while you're live on air, don't you?
Yeah. Found out this is the most legal way to have it. And, just, comes apart and all that stuff. I mean, why the hell not? Bobby's got the prop one. This is the legit one. So, I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be arrested for legally owning something. Ooh.
Maybe I'll go to the jail and see about getting my dad's shotgun.
Why would you?
I wouldn't have to buy it.
They have his shotgun in lockup?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Go ahead and do that then. God damn it, Cletus. I'm gonna have to clean this goddamn thing. That figures.
Where'd the other dude go?
He fell out not too long after you did.
Yeah, I was trying to get back in here, but yeah.
Oh, there he is. Here,
And
let
then
me
you
go
can
bring
do
him
better
in.
mobile.
I want to play through my phone.
All right. You good, Warlock? Oh, he's getting situated. All right.
He's working on the sound.
Yeah, he's getting himself situated. And he dropped out again. All right. I'll go back in a second.
What you want to bet he's on his phone too?
Probably. Poor guy. Oh, there he is again. That magical Warlock. Oh, wait. He's got. All right.
Vigid.
Greetings, Warlock.
And he drops out.
Oh. All right, hold on. Let me talk to him in the. All right. Let me send a message. Let me see. It looks like he's adjusting his settings.
He's back.
Okay. Hey, Warlock, you there?
Yep, I just had to get my headphones to work.
Okay. Yeah, your camera popped on there for a second. You want us to edit that out later on?
Nah, you're good. I don't care.
Okay. I just need you dropped out afterwards, so I was like, some people get on about that. Me, I'm more on about, I think I'm going to have to clean this thing.
Yeah.
I think Cletus got some Cheetos in here when he was putting it on the goddamn shelf. These things are supposed to run through mud, though, so it should be okay. God forbid I have to fire this damn thing. It's gonna go through like the next 4 houses that way.
You're live while the quartering is live, and you know I like fucking with Jeremy while he's live.
Oh shit! Go fuck with him then. So good. Tell him I said he's a heretic because he hasn't partaken in the Space Wolves yet. He's one of the only people I know of that hasn't done hardcore reviews of all the Warhammer figures and stuff like that.
That's because he's not a complete asshole.
Yep, and I don't think he's British.
Warhammer, like the game.
Yep, tabletop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never played it.
It's an interesting hobby, but I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty expensive because all the shit is imported.
Mm-hmm.
You either have to go through the EU main shop over in England, or you have to go through their secondary shop, Forge World. So it either comes from Games Workshop or Forge World. Both of them outrageously priced, and you have to pay the import tariff tax, and you have to pay the crown their handful of money so they can go diddle children or whatever the flying hell it is they do.
That's why I play Magic the Gathering. Cheaper.
Oh, no way. You too, huh? Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. I should have brought my cards down. Damn. Hell. I only brought my bare minimum props. Shit. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, yeah. We'll have to hang out and play a game sometime. That'll be fun as fuck.
Commander. Or not.
Did you say Commander?
Yes.
Ooh, that's one I found out about, but I've got a deck for it, but I haven't really articulated much of it for Commander. I'm used to doing Emperor and Generals was the version that I was most accustomed to. I never really got into doing Commander. I did like one, maybe two games with my buddy, who now is over in your neck of the woods, sweetheart, somewhere.
Whoever the hell that is.
If I found out whatever town Malcor is in, I'll let you know so I can go drop around there and look for that gargantuan Swede cousin of mine. Hell, awesome. That's good. One other person I can play MTG with.
Yep.
All right. Sweetheart. Is Florida technically entered a lockdown, and you guys just hunkering in for the time being?
Let's see. DeSantis has locked down the beaches. State or parks that have like playgrounds and shit are closed. Most state parks are open for the hiking trails and stuff like that. You can't go swimming.
Okay.
Because they're still encouraging you to go outside. It's just, they want you to practice social distancing. All right, I'm dropping out. I'll be right back and then I'll continue.
All right, sure. Go right on ahead.
Out by me, they closed all the Starbucks unless it's a drive-through. All the nail salons and shit are closed. All the restaurants are closed unless it's pickup.
Nice. Starbucks is closed.
Like I said, I'd be right back. So
oh God, you sound loud. Holy crap.
That's because I'm on the laptop.
Okay.
Let's see. Restaurants have been ordered to close down their dining rooms. You can only do to go and carry out. What else is there? Bars and stuff are to close at 9 p.m.
Technically, our bars ain't even opened. We're closed.
Ooh, damn. Okay, well, this is a good contrast. Warlock, you're on pretty much relative lockdown. Terra, you don't really have a lockdown, but you have some restrictions. I'm totally fucked. This is good. We have the three levels of are you fucked or not?
Dude, if I have to when it comes time, I will drive up there and bring you down.
I appreciate it, but you might get gunned down by the National Guard from what I hear. But I've yet to see them, so I don't know. I'm waiting for Pritzker to start groveling to Soros and the UN for troops.
Yeah,
got a
well,
boat.
there's
I
a
can go
potential
across
cure.
Lake Michigan, come pick your ass up, and we can go
There's
down.
actually a potential cure out there, and the guy that owns the patent to it has jacked the price up.
By chance is his name Bill and or Melinda Gates? Because I hear their foundation has the aforementioned cure.
You're forgetting about Jared Kushner.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Didn't he toss around the idea of having some form of elixir to cure this?
Yep, and he's pushing it majorly through Israel.
Oh, that doesn't. Okay, that explains me the stuff Iron Lord was sending me. Where it's like, I'm telling you, man. Listen, I tell you, the Jews, they are doing something very suspicious. I am telling you. Henrik, you need to look at this. Israel is doing something. And I'm like, what aren't they doing something? They're always committing a war crime of one kind or another. No. With the
bombing
writers, they're doing
Syria
something.
over nothing.
Exactly, yeah. So I was like, oh, come on, don't send me more Israel crap. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
Dude,
Apparently, a televangelist is peddling silver as a fake cure for the coronavirus.
so is Alex Jones.
yep. Yeah, not a cure, but it is a very good probiotic that works against.
Mhm.
It's funny too. You mentioned Alex Jones. I heard him retracting earlier, where he's like, "I was telling you guys, goddamn, it's not gonna cure it. But if your goddamn immune system isn't fucked, it's gonna give you a good chance of kicking its ass." And he starts throwing out a bunch of documents. And I'm like, and
I
turn
saw
off.
the link on Facebook. Let me see if I can find it again.
Go for it.
Oh, so on Facebook, one of my friends posted, or on Gainesville Word of Mouth, somebody posted, "What are y'all doing during this outbreak?" And so I took a picture of the Corona bottle I was drinking out of and posted it.
Oh, that's a dank meme. I like that. Definitely a dank meme.
Shit, I'm still going back and forth to work.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You got your papers. Oh shit, I should have brought mine down. Yeah.
Here, Puddin', I'll send you the image.
Peyton, man, what's next? The Gestapo gonna stab my ass?
There you go.
Oh man, I'm gonna be filming.
Dude,
from
there's a
here
hole
on
in
out.
your hand.
Oh,
There's a hole in your hand. Now the one holding the bottle.
He done shot himself with the AK.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's turning into the Invisible Man. Dear God, I hope not. I don't want Superman flying by and accidentally butt raping you. Have you seen that cartoon before?
I don't think I've seen Superman and the Invisible Man, but
Hold
I
on,
remember.
hold on. Give me a second, I'll find it.
All right. I've seen a couple other crossovers. Oh, there goes the hole in my hand again. Oh no. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have so much fun just poking jokes at this terribly lit. Oh look, I've got a nice green Corona around my hand. Yeah. That's what I get for going around and getting general supplies today and forgetting to go pick up a couple fluorescent bulbs. Oh.
All right,
so
here's how it goes. It says Superman is flying around the city, feeling horny as hell. He suddenly sees Wonder Woman lying naked, legs apart, on top of a building. He thinks, "This is my chance," and swoops down faster than a speeding bullet and fucks her deep and hard and is gone in the blink of an eye. Wonder Woman sits up and says, "What the hell was that?" The Invisible Man rolls over and says, "I have no idea, but my fucking asshole hurts like hell."
Oh, that's terrible.
Damn.
That's dark.
Grocery stores out by you still open?
So far, yeah. The local ones are open. Everyone's wearing gloves and masks and that. I went to the bank earlier to get my money. And
there's a comic right next to it that has, kind of fat Superman. It says, "But darling, I thought I was the father." Wonder Woman goes, "No, you moron. It was the Invisible Man you screwed."
That's funny.
Stores have reduced hours.
That's good. At least everyone can go out and get their stuff.
There
But
ain't
yeah, the
shit.
good thing. Oh, good thing is Warlock though. You got your travel papers. I got my travel papers. One oddball thing is when I was at work, I seen on television that Amazon is hiring like crazy. And according to Scoob, he looked into it and he said there's two reasons why Amazon is hiring. One, they're handing out the same travel papers that you and I got, so they can go to and from work. Two, allegedly, they're handing out everyone who starts their new employment containment suits.
Not down here.
No, not in Michigan.
Okay.
No, I
My
highly doubt that they're
concern
handing out containment suits.
Um,
But no, the reason is because you can still order essentials off of Amazon, such as food, milk, water, toilet paper, disinfectant, all that, and they need to be able to send it out, so they're hiring drivers.
that and all that shit's gonna take priority
Yep,
because that's essential and everything else is not essential.
yep. They shut
Right.
down Amazon except for being able to do that. So
Yep.
I can't order anything right now.
my stuff's gonna. The rest of the stuff that I got is gonna take about a month. The only thing that I got in recently was my iron crossed metal that I'm gonna put on my colors when I get done stitching them together. The flag I got draped over the chair I'm sitting on right now, and this beautiful green screen that's sitting on a stand. I had the screen for a long time. It's the same one as always, but I never had a good stand for it, so I got a legit stand. And yeah, all the whole rest of my stuff, I gotta wait a good month for it, and that's if this doesn't continue. Because speaking of our silver salesman, the Infowars was telling about how a handful of people in the DNC and so on, and the Soros Court were trying to extend this whole quarantine we've got going on to a good year and a half.
Fuck
I know.
that.
Yeah. I don't see that flying. What do you guys think? You think they're going to be able to
Hell
pull that
no.
shit off?
Fuck no.
Riots
Yeah.
and there'll be riots everywhere. It could all be a stage because think about it. What happens if everything goes down? All our National Guard are on the front lines, and we've seen video and shit. They don't have face masks or nothing. They're stopping people, taking temps. What happens if they all get sick? We have the UN sitting at our southern border. Think about it. UN can come in, sweep up, have the right gear, be the savior.
Yeah, it could be like an inverse of Red Dawn. Not the remake, but the original. You guys seen the original, right?
Yes,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen the original.
Oh, thank God. I hate the fucking
Puddin'. This is me
Yeah.
we're talking about. The woman that hates remakes.
I know. I just didn't know on the off chance because come to think of it, I don't think I've ever brought that film up prior to this conversation.
Oh, and if you
Actually,
need
it's one of my
info
favorite
on
movies because it has a really young and sexy Patrick Swayze.
It's sharp looking. Warlock, what were you saying?
if you need info on Amazon at all, they just built a brand new huge facility right next to where I currently work. So I drive by
We
it
have a
every damn
facility
day.
here too, and one of my friends works there.
Yep.
Oh shit! All right, by all means, yeah, give me intel on what's going on in those facilities, because that's actual good stuff. Because the one thing that Alex Jones and Infowars did say that is genuinely true is, in light of all of this clusterfuck going on, Amazon, eBay, and all those mega companies that are doing the online transactions and shippings, oh, they are flourishing right now. They are definitely profiting from this madness. And I'm guarantee you, I'm pretty damn sure they're handing out those papers that you and I got, Warlock, like fucking candy. And people are like, yes, right to travel. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'll work 24 hours. I'll work 48 hours straight.
The one out by me only became operational like 2 weeks ago. They spent 2 years building it and getting everything together.
Interesting. Okay, good. So it's fairly new. That's good to keep an eye on that.
They were flying drones last Friday around, so maybe they're gonna do the whole drone shit.
Oh my god, if I find drones out by me, man. Oh, we're
I've
going
got-
turkey.
Did you know they have net rounds you can get for your 12 gauge?
Say what?
Specifically
now?
for shooting drones down. It's like a large net. You shoot them.
Oh my! I thought those were a meme.
No, they're real.
Oh, all right. I
Yeah,
gotta hit up.
well, technically, you're not allowed to shoot them down because they're technically in.
FAA property, technically.
Yeah, as long as they're in the air, they're. But people are like, hell no, it's over my property and invading my privacy. I'm gonna shoot that bitch down. I'm all for that.
Oh yeah. If I on the off chance on my 1 maybe 2 days off, I get a week during this fucking nightmare. If I see any of them drones flying and they ain't dropping by me, even if they are dropping by me, I'm just gonna sit there. All right, Cletus, I hope you didn't sell me a piece of junk. Ping, ping, ping. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to watch out with that shit too, because they have live feeds and shit on them.
No, it has to like literally be invading your privacy, like they are hovering it in front of your window and videoing you.
Yep, it's more made for like she said, like someone trying to look at you and shit. It's more for personal. You shoot down one like that, you're fucked. It goes by weight, and I forget the weight, but any big drone has to be registered through the FAA.
It's a scooper.
Hey, Scoop.
What's going on? What's happening?
Hey, good news. Okay, so earlier today, I'll recap the comical story for that I told the Warlock and Sweetheart. Okay, now remember I told you that redneck pawn shop that was over where my dad used to go to all the time?
Yeah.
So here's a fun thing I found out from Cletus, cousin Cletus. Okay, get this. Okay, so this was one of the last few things they had. This and a couple boxes of ammo and that. I mean, I'm kind of stuck with the one mag, but hey, here's the cool thing I found out from Cletus. Check this out. Legal? Illegal. Legal? Illegal.
How does that work?
Chicago's bullshit laws. Shit you not. So long as, technically speaking, it does not have a butt stock, and I decide that I want to take this loose end here and attach a pistol brace to it, which theoretically I could get at any point in time. I've got my travel papers.
It's only got one point of contact, not two.
Yep, exactly. And because of that, this is a pistol. As unwieldy as it would be for a pistol. You can't exactly sit
That's
here.
crazy.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. Funny thing.
I thought all wars were weird.
Oh no.
Backwards.
Yeah. Absolutely. All I had to do was I just had to ensure that I could remove this. Showed me the paperwork and everything.
Cut the fucking thing off if you have to. Fuck.
Fuck that. All I needed was a screwdriver. He literally sat there in the counter and went, "Now look here. Little Henry, I'm going to tell you how this goes. Okay, now, you living down in Chicago. Now, you could own this right out here. Your daddy could own it. Well, he only got one hand, but you know what? Same difference. Now, you going back to Chicago, ain't you? Yeah, I got to get back. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's one of the last ones I got here. I'm going to give you a box of ammo over there. I ain't got no more mags. They gone. You're going to get one gun. I'm going to give you a couple box of ammunition here. It's like, hey, here, and here. Grab the screwdriver. He's like, here, take this off. Here's a couple laws we got here. We all got to abide by them. That address there says you're in Chicago, right? Yeah. All right. Tell you what. Pop. I'm selling you a pistol. A Kalashnikov pistol. Perfect legal. Really? Hey. Ain't got no buttstock. Ain't that right? Yeah, I don't see a buttstock on it. Hey, Paul. You see a buttstock on this? Why the fuck you asking me? I got 3 customers over here. Thank you, pal. See? No problem. Sign paperwork here. President says you ain't got to wait 3 days. So you take this, you put that in that case you got over there, whatever the hell that is, and you go and get back home. Tell your daddy we said hi. Hope he's doing well. All right, I'll make sure I stop by Dad's, make sure he's doing all right, and I'll tell you said hi, Cletus. Thank you. See you come hunting season. Perfectly legal.
I definitely got to go out to Chicago. It sounds like a real trip out by you.
Yeah. I went out to out over in Livingston County to the exchange over there in the middle of nowhere to go and get this Russian pistol. Yeah, I should have stopped over at the base over in Pontiac to see if they had anything, because Warlock was saying earlier, over in Pontiac, Michigan, they got National Guard on standby to close down Detroit. And ironically, over in Pontiac, Illinois, they got a National Guard base over there as well.
Yeah. I was watching Timmy's video, and I don't know. Normally, I treat Tim as a bit of a Mary, because I ain't trying to get on him because he's a small guy. It ain't nothing like that. I'm trying to get on him because have some balls, man. But I digress. I'm watching Timmy's video, and I actually got shook watching it because I'm thinking to myself, wow, I might actually wind up getting trapped here for a long time. Like
What
a long
state
time.
you in, dude?
New York.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of fucked.
Yeah.
They got 2 boats right off the coast of you, right? Right now they're
Yeah.
going to use to triage and shit.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Like, my wife is a Democrat, and it's funny because I watched the whole video. I come down and I put it on. Like, she was talking to me earlier, and she's furious that she can't go get her nails done. And
Yep, same
So-
in Michigan.
yeah, so I put on Tim's video, and I come down and I look at it, and she's like this, falling asleep watching it, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I don't know what it is with the Democrat mentality. Like, they're actually annoyed at being inconvenienced like this. I can't believe it myself.
They're
Yeah.
Just
We're wolves.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
actually a really good analogy. I like that. Sheep versus wolves. Real wolves get their nice Russian pistols. Sheep get 22.
yeah. No, I'm just nervous. Shit's gonna get crazy quick. I'm gonna actually have to go pick up like a 12 gauge or something to keep up in the house, because I don't need nobody coming up in here trying to hurt my wife and my mother. That's the thing I'm worried about. My dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Got all the. I hate saying it like this, and you know what I love? Like, these left wingers, they're gonna be like, "Yo, that's racist." When I say we got like all these people moving in from like all over Asia, Southeast Asia, really Far East Asia, Northern Asia, the Indian subcontinent, I'm afraid someone's gonna steal my dog and eat him.
Yeah,
I got no
more
problem
worried
saying
about them
that.
breaking in and stealing your toilet paper and food like they're doing out here, and that's it.
Yeah, well, no, they can have that. Don't eat my dog. That's the thing I'm worried about. No, anything else can be replaced. My dog is irreplaceable. The same thing, with my family members. Like, the reason I say this is because somewhere down in Central America, I forget what country they were from, they moved in next to my
Honduras?
sister, and
Honduras.
who the fuck
Argent-
cares? They moved in
Argentina?
next to my sister. It don't. No. Argentina's full of Italians. So they moved in next door to my sister, and I told you about this. My nephew's corn snake got out, and my brother-in-law's walking around the backyard of the apartment looking for the snake, and he sees these fucking people, and they got the snake on a spit, and they're spinning it. Yeah.
Oh God. Shit.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of the Chinese restaurants around here. Like,
Was it a big snake?
they've had a few. Huh?
Was it a big snake?
He'd had the thing for a few years, so it was a few feet long.
Mm.
Yeah, no, they just seen it, and I guess like Uncle Juan made a belt out of it, and I guess they ate the fucker, and
Maybe he
Yeah.
made some boots.
no, not enough to make a boot, a pair of boots. That's why I was saying you could probably make a broad's belt or like a decent money clip or some shit out of it. I don't know. I personally I don't. I just don't understand why they got to kill a snake. I mean, you got the grocery store right up the block. What the fuck? You can't just go get a chicken?
Snake
I don't know.
tasty.
I know snake can be tasty, but I'm just saying, what the fuck are you going to sit there and kill the thing going through the backyard and throw it up on a spit? You've got the store right up the block. You know, I mean, part of the reason you come to this country and you come to civilization is you don't have to kill and eat shit as often as you did back home. You know,
Yeah, they ain't appropriating, right?
yeah. You know, um, I'm concerned though that we're gonna have like all these different fucking animals climbing up over the fence, trying to, like you said, come in here for like the food and the toilet paper. But the big problem I'm gonna have with this shit is I got no problem fucking shooting these people. That's not anything that's gonna bother me at all. The problem is I got a bad back. I don't leave them up in my house. I'm not even lying. I don't want them stinking. I told my mother and I told my wife, I said, we're going to have to do it as a group effort. We'll just take pitchforks and huck them over the fence.
Yeah,
Who
fuck it,
knows?
yeah, well.
They might start eating each other.
Well, if you get really hungry,
Yeah.
you could always eat the big ass cat-sized squirrels.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus
right?
Christ, were those things massive over by you, dude. Holy fuck.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I
the
thought I
rats and
seen
the
some large
sewers.
shit over at Crowley's, man. You got some large fucking wildlife over there, dude. Jeez.
Well, we keep the squirrels fed, and we give them what you call it, peanuts. And
That's
the reason
why
we
you can
keep the
eat them later.
no, you do that. Basically, squirrels deter rats and mice. So you want to keep the squirrels
They
fed, so they
are
keep them
giant
away.
fucking rats.
That's fine because
Like
you
tree
don't.
rats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rat in a tuxedo.
Tree rat.
Yeah, that's what we.
I know how to make a
I
tree
just say,
rat.
Mm-hmm.
like, one of the things, like, if you got squirrels, you don't get rats and mice because one displaces the other. It's the same thing if like you got. If you get ants in your house, you're not going to get cockroaches because the ants beat the cockroaches to the food. Unless you're a dirty bastard and you got a lot of leaks and mold and shit, then you're going to get cockroaches irregardless. But in a normal house, if you got like a little bit of an ant problem, you're not going to get a roach problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
The universe works itself out.
I wish it worked that
Yeah.
way here, because it don't.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
plus,
you got some flying roaches.
You know what it is too? The ants will fuck up those cockroaches because the cockroaches are too big and the ants is too small and they swarm them. It's kind of like watching, like the featherweight boxers versus a bunch of like Icelandic world's strongest man. The size difference. You got these big bastards trying to swat these little guys and they're running under their legs and shit. Same deal. Let's see. I've been on here for about 10 minutes, and I think I've pissed off about 3 hemispheres of the planet. That's good.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of pissing people off, hey, I got a good one for all you guys. Okay. So, in my governor's infinite wisdom, what do you think the best thing he had to combat the coronavirus was?
Social distancing.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fucking hate this social distancing shit.
Take a guess. It ain't social distancing. Not the first thing he brought up.
What?
Cough into your elbow.
Nope. Not coughing into the elbow. One more try.
Eating your neighbor's snake.
Your neighbor's. No, that's only on Belmont and North Avenue where they're they're eating plenty of steak up there. I guarantee you. they're eating plenty of fucking man snake up there. Just like the hell is that movie? Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle 2 where they're talking about cock meat sandwich. Yeah, it's about what they're getting over there over on North Avenue.
That's the one where they go to Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I never seen the second one. I only seen the first one. I never seen the second.
It's funny as fuck. It's funny, man.
Oh, it's goddamn hysterical. But no, not even cock meat sandwich was what the governor of Illinois was saying the best way to combat coronavirus. Last guess. Any takers?
No.
All right. His best way to combat the virus was derogatory speech and misinformation. Racism and misinformation are apparently the fucking priorities of the state of Illinois.
But
God
as far as we
forbid.
know, this shit came from China.
Yeah. They don't want
But
you
we're
calling
also
it.
let me
gonna
see if-
say it.
Calling it a Chinese virus is racist.
Nope.
Let me see if I got
Yep.
this straight. His solution is for people to. Oh, okay. I was saying what he wants you to use racial slurs at people to make them stay away from you. Oh, what? I don't. Racism is his solution, huh?
Racism the reverse.
No, they're calling it a Chinese virus instead of the coronavirus or COVID-19.
Or
Yeah.
my personal favorite, the Kung Flu.
Yep. Yep. You can't call it the Kung Flu. You can't call it the Wuhan virus. You can't call it coronavirus because all three of those are technically derogatory.
What about
he wa- he-
MERS? You know what MERS is, right?
I've heard of that. It's been a while.
Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome.
That would, if anyone were to figure that out, that would also get you the 1-800 number as well. That's technically derogatory. That's the thing. He literally, his priority is combating misinformation and racism. So, like, he's basically whining about how we can't be racist jagoffs to each other and how we have to only listen to appropriate or certified news networks. So, like the guy you and I like.
Oh.
So no more Facebook shit.
Yeah, basically anything Zuckerberg approves of is what they want you to pay attention to. No Breitbart, no Drudge Report, no Infowars, nobody from the Blaze. No. You have to listen to the Young Turks and Facebook.
Not even Newsmax? Come on now.
Not even Newsmax. No. That will get you the 1-800 number for the discrimination report in Shirakistan. And yes, we actually have that. We actually have a as dumb as it is, we actually have a 1-800 number you can call to for people being discriminatory against you because they're allegedly being very proactive against hate crime. When in fact it's actually if you're some salad fisting SJW who has your Fifi cert, you dial that 1-800 number and the CPD shows up and goes, "All right, I'm Officer So-and-so. Why the fuck are you wasting my time?" You know we have actual dead bodies. Oh yeah. Thoroughly and full-heartedly, my friend. Thoroughly and full-heartedly. That's literally their priority. Second to that is actually what you mentioned: social distancing, washing your hands, and doing all that.
Stay inside.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
Oh yeah, all that same nonsense.
You mean propaganda?
Oh yeah, and it has been.
Just say what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Ever since they passed the Smith-Mundt Act, they can now do propaganda.
Mm-hmm. Right, literally. I didn't know the name of that bill. Thank you. What'd you say the name of it was again?
Smith-Mundt.
Smith-Mundt. All right, I'm gonna look that up.
Smith-Mundt.
Mundt?
Yes, I think.
Thank you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely, I'll have to look that up. That's actually quite interesting and a good thing to know. Oh, Joey, that means if that's been enacted, if I finish my paperwork and get it somewhere where it's not infected with this damn virus and get it approved, I could do propaganda. Yay, I could put posters up all over town again and not have them taken down because it's official company property. That'll be hysterically awesome.
It's only government.
Damn! Ain't that a bitch? Oh.
I'll drop a link in Discord when I get off.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bolt bag put together yet?
Of course
Thankfully,
he doesn't.
no, thankfully I'm actually pretty decent. I don't need one. I mean, I would have my M17A1 down here with me, but if this thing is keying out horribly, I don't even want to know what it would look like if I were to actually put that thing on, let alone hold it right here with the hood and everything on. It would not key out very well.
No, what I'm saying.
Bag in my car, shit.
No, I'm saying like when I say a bolt bag, I heard military guys call it like a bug out bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, bug out bag. That's
we call it
what you meant.
We call it a bolt bag here in the neighborhood because you grab the thing and bolt.
Yep. Bolt bag.
Yeah.
Go pack. I call it a bunch of different shit.
Yeah. Currently, since I got my papers, I'm planning on hunkering in, especially since I'm close enough to the border. If it comes to anything, I'm gonna regrettably inconvenience my mentor and go, "Hey, Bobby, Mind if I sleep in the couch for a bit? Oh, fuck. What the fuck did you do this time? Did you get arrested? How many times I told you to not get arrested? And then we tell him, no, I didn't get arrested. I had to bug out of Chicago. Oh, about time you got the fuck out of here. All right, take the fucking couch. When do you got work? I got work at 2. All right. I'll wake your ass up around 9. You need coffee? Yeah. All right, I'll make a strong shit. You better get the fuck up, too. All right, I'll make sure.
See,
Well, no,
there's something you're not thinking about though. What happens if you're on your way to work and shit goes
Yeah.
sideways and you need to leave your fucking car somewhere?
yeah.
Oh, I need to leave my car anywhere? I'm in general fuck. I'm going to be
Well,
literally
And you don't have that bag.
994.
And you don't have that bag. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I'll be fucked in general, man. Not going to lie.
You need
Well,
a bag.
that's the reason you need to put the bag together. Yeah. I'm putting one together. I like my mother and my wife, I showed it to both of them and they're looking at me and they're like, that's not enough for all 3 of us. I said, yeah, that's enough for one person because the 2 of you are dragging your feet. I told both of you we need to at least get a shotgun apiece. My wife, the Democrat, she's a pacifist. She doesn't want to look at guns, so she said no. And my mother's, 80, so she's not. I told her think I might have to get her like a 410 or something because a 12 gauge is going to end her. So,
Oof.
but
What
they're
about
not.
what about a 20 gauge?
I was thinking of a
20
20
isn't bad.
gauge also. Yeah, I was thinking of a 20 gauge also, but I think all the 20 gauges are gone. Like
The
at
20
the gun
gauges are
shops.
gone, but you can get rounds for them still. At least up on me.
Well, I mean, unless I get the gun to shoot them, I mean, I'm not going to throw them at the perps. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I need to.
Build a slam shotgun. Get yourself a pipe.
Oh well, like a zip
Oh
gun.
yeah, you're talking about. Yeah, I was just gonna mention that. Yeah.
Oh
zip
God,
gun.
I haven't. Oh God, I haven't built one of those since I was a kid.
It's an option.
Oh no, it is a good option. Nah, my wife, she doesn't handle guns, and so my mother though, I'm gonna try to get her the what you call it, the 20 gauge, like you were saying. But no, because I know that a few of these people they got the 410s on the shelf still. So I got to go
What
up to the
about
gun
like a
shop. I'm
Glock
gonna
or
try to go.
something?
Oh no, bro, New York. Please,
shit,
long
yep,
guns only.
yep.
Yeah,
I
no
forgot, my
pistols.
bad.
Believe me, I'd love to get my hands on like a Glock 37. I'd be set.
Shit, even a Glock,
But-
even a Glock 19, you'd be fine.
Ooh, Glock 19.
Ooh. Yeah, but I prefer just having that extra stop and power. You get that with that gap ammo. But
The only reason I have mine's in my bag with 100 rounds of ammo. And if
Nice.
Good shit.
And if shit goes down and I don't have time to go in my trunk and get my AR and my 6 mags, at least I have that.
I was telling Burnside I'm thinking of picking up a 12 gauge specifically because, long story short, I can club the fuck out of you with it if I run out of ammo. That's part of the reason. Yeah, that's part of the reason I was looking at it. 12 gauge does make a good bludgeon. So there's that.
Oh yeah.
And
What
Yeah,
about what about beanbag rounds for your wife? It's non-lethal, and then you can come up and do what you have to do afterwards, and she don't get her hands
Oh
dirty.
shit. That's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
yeah.
Considering
Yeah,
you
no,
buy those?
I've mentioned all this. I've mentioned rubber bullets. I've mentioned beanbag rounds. I've mentioned Peter rounds. I've mentioned flare rounds because
Salt?
I told her. I said, I told her, don't worry. I said you shoot them with the white phosphorus. I said it just gets really bright. Don't worry, honey. It's not going to hurt them. What you want to do? I said you want to aim for the exposed flesh.
Just don't shoot it down your hallway.
Oh yeah. That's gonna light everything up.
No, have you ever seen that though? I mean, I thank God myself did not get to witness it, but somebody like it was something bad had went down, and all I'm going to say is, homeboy decided that he was going to bring a shotgun to a brawl, and he had the thing loaded with flares, and started. So you start shooting people with flares, yeah. Like the boat flares. You can get them all over the place here. And he just started shooting people with flares. And those things get really hot. So you can imagine how hurt people were getting. Yeah. It's about 20 years ago, and I'm sure that there's going to be, one or two weirdos out in the chat like, I want to see citation, and my thing is to you, yeah, go and look it up yourself. I'm in my 40s. I don't do the work for you.
Oh yeah, I'm not giving people any citation for this one, let alone for anything else I've got on. They can bite it as far as they're going to complain where they're going to. We're constantly going to have our retractors and our opposition.
Well, they get annoyed with me. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
no, I was saying they get annoyed with me because they try to pull your card, and they're like, "Can you provide citation?" Yeah, sure I can. Check this out. You got a keyboard? Yeah. You got a mouse? Yeah. You know how to use them? Yeah. Okay, look this shit up yourself. There's your citation. Well, if you can't provide citation, then obviously what you're saying is false. Up there you go, kid. You caught me. It's all false. Now, can we move the fuck? And they
want my citation?
Get all...
Second fucking amendment.
Damn straight.
Yeah, no, it's like these kids want everything freaking cited. And I'm a journalist, and I'm one of the people that's like, enough with the fucking citations. Like, if we get down to it, if I'm giving you specifics, like, there's been a few times where I've talked to people and I've said shit in passing, and they've stopped me. And they're like, well, Scoop, can you provide a citation? And I look at them, I'm like, bro, this is shit that happened in my personal life. And like, I was talking to a good friend actually about a few months ago, and I told him about what had happened with myself and Jack Dorsey. Now, Jack Dorsey don't know me from Adam. I would actually be really disturbed if Jack Dorsey knew who I was, honestly, because like, billions of people on the planet, Jack, why the hell would you know who the fuck I am? But I digress. One of the things I had done a few years ago, a couple of times now, to be fair, I'm one of those people. I do a lot of things on a whim, and it's for shits and giggles. One of the things I did, like, if I had read that, hold on 1 second, my wife is.
Okay, looks like he's having a problem. Oof. Yeah, wouldn't want to be friends with Jack Dorsey.
Sorry. So what had happened was I had found out because they had put a few different things in the paper. One of the things that they put in the paper is they thought it would be a good idea to interview Jack Dorsey's barbers and to put the barber shop up. And I look at it
fuck.
Yeah, when I took the 2 years up into Manhattan the other day, what was that, a month ago now? Over a month? Yeah, a month and a half. I got no, my concept of time is not good. Yeah. So when you went with me up into Manhattan, it was about a few blocks away from where we were. And so I had hit him up on Twitter a few times, like, yo, I'm over there, I'm gonna stop down or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I had said to him, but it wasn't like harassing. It was basically because I'm a journalist. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stop down and interview you. Because now I'm showing my age, but when I was a teenager and I was in college, way back in the 90s, you'd watch shit on MTV, and you get a lot of this guerrilla journalism where the MTV journalists would just show up for a guerrilla style interview, and the guys at a barber shop and or the guys like getting his car washed or some shit, and people would show up on him. So that's what I was planning on doing. And once I think one time one of the barbers copped an attitude with me, and I think that now I'm going back a few years, and I think it was the NYPD were actually on a foot patrol going past, and they came over and they had said something, and I shoulder shrug and said to the cops, hey, I'm here trying to interview the guy. I'd hit him up on Twitter. He never responded to me, and the barber's devil advocate. Well, he has billions of people he talks to on Twitter. I go, yeah, that's great, Harriet. I'm talking to the police here. So, I turned to, I'm sorry, I don't like these bearded fuck cucks. So, I'm talking to the cop here, and the cop. Now, this is the long story short. Is the friend I was talking to is like, well, I can look up the report, and I look at him, and it took me for a minute. I'm like, oh, there was no report. Cops didn't arrest me or run me in or anything. The cops are just like, look, don't come over here and ball to the hairdressers. They're sitting here trying to dress hair, and the guy's like, I'm a barber. Okay, whatever.
Dang,
But
dang.
yeah, it's like, and so he wanted proof that I had went to this guy's barbershop. And, I luckily remembered, I go, look on like the archive tweets. I'm sure it's up there because I actually found some link a few months ago. There's like a website of people who just like fuck with Jack Dorsey, and all their tweets are on like this one site. And a few of mine were on there, which I was a little annoyed because the rest of the tweets are like, fuck you, Jack, eat a dick, Jack. And mine is like, hi, Jack, I'm going to be over in the neighborhood. So I was hoping to stop by and just talk to you about a few things on your stance on such and such. Very professional, or at least as professional as I can pull off. And I was just like, wow. It's, what do they call them? The Twitterazzi or whatever. Like, if I had the balls to try to, stop by and do an impromptu interview with Jack. So that's harassment. I don't understand that. But again, I
But yet
digress.
you're a journalist. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. But I digress. Again, it came down to this guy wanted to see citation. He wanted to see proof that part of the reason I got booted off of Twitter was for busting Jack's balls. And I said to him, it was that. And I had at one point gotten, I think, 36 messages from Twitter simultaneously about tweets I had put out. And I had talked to this kid the other day. He's one of Burnside's friends, this Dark Ninja kid. I talked to him for like 2 minutes or whatever. And, I shouldn't say he's one of Burnside's friends. I don't want to like put the label on the kid. I don't know exactly what your relationship is with the kid Burnside.
That's all good.
I talked.
We're on good talking terms. He's not an enemy. We're okay
Yeah.
for the time being. It's just I talk to him more, but I'm working constantly because of this Corona crack baby syndrome. So I can hardly
Yeah.
say, anything. So
Yeah.
he's definitely one of my friends.
Yeah, I don't dislike the kid. I had actually blocked him like a day or two ago to fuck with him because I thought it was funny and I was bored. But
Yeah. Poor guy was like,
Yeah.
"Why did he block me?" And I'm like, "Okay, he's just being an asshole."
yeah,
That might not have got sent because I can hardly get signal at work. So if he didn't get it, sorry.
oh, all right, yeah. Well, hopefully if he sees this shit, I'm not mad at you. I was bored. I've been locked up in the house and I just felt like fucking with the kid.
You
But,
have a sick sense of humor, which isn't.
No,
new
I
for us.
do. I do, and that's one of the
yeah.
things that I was having such a problem with people on here because a lot of people on here, they thought I was threatening them, and I got like, you know how it is. I got labeled a piece of shit, and yeah. But the thing of it is, most of it was, I'm a ball buster. That's like, I'm not gonna lie with this virus. I controlled myself because a lot of people were in a panic. I really wanted to order off Amazon one of those hazmat suits because my nephew was he was an exterminator and he left here his sprayer backpack with the big professional sprayer nozzle, so it sprays like a mist. So I was going to buy the hazmat suit and throw on the sprayer backpack and walk around and be like, ma'am, you have to get at least 50 feet back. We're spraying now. This is to make sure to combat the corona. You don't want to get it near you because your hair will fall out, shit like that.
No little pair of testicles.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've been having a ball since Miastra told me that shit. How do you say the last part of his name? Miastra Thrianthropy? Fuck, I butchered it. Sorry, Miastra. Yeah, that's it. Or Thrianthropy. Yeah, bro, I have to avoid. I got to avoid big words because of how bad my accent is. I butcher the fuck out of them. But
it's not good. You only talk like this, eh?
Yeah.
Dick.
Yes, I am.
Tara was there for it. He actually had showed us this thing, that Ultimate Whopper that Burger King is putting out.
Yeah.
One of these Whoppers has the same amount of estrogen as the estrogen pill they give you if you're trying to transition from male to female, but it's actually it's got 8 milligrams more estrogen than that pill. So he was saying if you have like 2 of these Whoppers a day for a week, you'll start to transition. or some shit. He has the
Oh,
actual numbers. Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Burger King. I already told you they put soy in the food.
Well, I'm
I don't eat
glad I
Burger
only
King,
go to
McDonald's,
Wendy's.
any of it.
Oh my
yeah,
god! Wow. I am
That's
so glad Bobby and I go to Wendy's. Oh my god. Holy.
I
Okay, I'm
didn't
gonna
know
have to
that
hit up
shit. What
Miastra
the
up for that
fuck?
one then.
yeah. You
Yeah.
gotta
That
hit him
that
up and ask him.
yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video with him in regards to that if he's okay with that.
Yeah, you should actually, see if he wants to do a collaboration video and do that because, bro, he was like railing about it because he couldn't
He
believe it,
should.
and yeah, well, it's funny to me, like
Wonder why people are so fucked up and out of shape in this goddamn country.
Oh yeah.
if you want a burger that bad, have a fucking burger. No, it's a cow. Well, okay, everything
Have a fucking
dies, and this
venison
one is
burger.
already dead.
From a
Yeah.
deer you fucking shot yourself.
Boo hoo.
Yeah.
You can easily just get some tofu and fucking make yourself a burger. Want a cow that? I prefer
Well, no, but they
Angus
want
beef.
one that. Yeah, well, they want this burger to look, taste, and smell like beef, like meat, so badly, specifically beef, and that's what this Impossible Whopper is. And when you read all the ingredients and you realize that they did like some molecular science shit to this, who in their right
Lab
fucking
grown
mind
meat.
wants to eat that? Yeah,
Oh
nah,
shit! No,
not me.
I'm definitely glad I've never ordered that. I always thought why I felt weird after eating a regular Whopper because regular Whoppers, that's a lot of fucking meat to take in. Not gonna lie. If you're
Yeah, 'cause
hungover,
Cow,
it's good.
cow
but-
farts are bad. They're destroying the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Believe it or not, I was never really a big red meat eater until I met my wife. I grew up pescatarian. We always ate fish in this house. That's just how it was. And
I
took me a while to get it took me a while to get used to beef. Really did. I don't eat it that often. I'll grab a burger or something, but like I still like prefer like I'll come home, I'll have chicken or I'll have fish or something. But no, it's all my wife and her family eat is beef.
Oh god!
Which-
At work, I am known
yeah.
for eating chicken consistently because until this virus outbroke, I had a very good hookup to get my hands on fried chicken. Got me a
They'll
lot
eat
of bonus
chicken.
points.
They'll eat chicken in her family too, but I'm just saying they live off of that fast food garbage.
Oh god!
I
Oh,
yeah.
oh, you're
Well,
killing me.
I hate it. Well, the father was an Irishman in the house, and that's basically that's what determined what type of food they were eating. So he, everything had to be like either red meat or it had to be like something of that variety, and he wanted it a specific way. And
Yeah,
my father was a Sicilian, so every meal was fish based. Like his favorite dish every Friday was mussels fra diavolo de puttanesca, and his favorite one on Sunday was linguine in the white clam sauce.
Oh, I like linguine.
Yeah, that's all this man would eat. Sometimes, like me personally, my favorite dish, we'd have it every once in a while on Sunday, and it was actually beef. It was steak. It was braciole, and my mother would make braciole mianga, and that's the stuffed braciole with the toothpicks put through it, and you wrap it with the butcher's twine, and then you put it in the red sauce with the sausages and the meatballs and the pork. And that's the red lead that you keep on the burner for all day Sunday. Oof, Madonna me. That shit eats a hole in your stomach when you have it. I can't actually eat red lead. I get so sick from it. There's so much acid.
I want to try that.
My father would have it old school. He was a real cuisine greaseball. So, like, you didn't add powdered sugar to his sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd tell my mother all the time, no, that's how the Marys up north have it. So, yeah, we'd have uncut tomato sauce. You know
That
what that's
sounds like the shit
amount of
I
acid?
say whenever I order a hot dog. They go in, they start putting their stuff on there, and then they get the ketchup. Going, no, that's what those sodomites up north have on.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you what they say in Sicily. When they say instead of go to hell, they say which means go to Naples.
That's fucked up.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
I still loved the look on your face while I sat there in the front seat eating that hot dog with ketchup on it, and you're just looking at me like I'm weird.
We're
Well,
both
he's
gonna
from
look at
Chicago.
you like it's weird.
You're from Chicago. That is weird to him. You know, that's the thing. You got to realize that. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's really a thing with them in that city. They got. I told you, my nephew. There's actually a picture of him, and it looks like a mug shot on that famous place in Chicago, because he was visiting his cousin, and
Yeah.
his cousin calls me, and he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Joey, what's the matter?" He's like, "I need bail." I go, "What did you do?" He's like, "I didn't do anything." He's like, "The shithead did something." I go, "What the fuck did he do?" And so he tells me, and so I confront him about it when he comes home, and he's all pissed off. I go, "What happened?" He's like, "So I'm in this place." He's like, "And I get the hot dog." So I go, "Can I get some ketchup?" And they give me the song and dance about no ketchup. He's like, so I shrug. He's like, so I reach in, and now you got to understand, my nephew's a fucking weirdo. He's one of those people that actually has like one of those. If you ever seen the cases that people carry in their pocket with different things in it, he actually has a case with the little condiments in it. This weird fuck. So
That's me.
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So he whips out the little shot glass sized bottle of Heinz, and he starts putting this shit on the hot dog. And the guy comes over and he's like, "We have a no ketchup policy in here," and he's like, "And this is the reason that your city is garbage. Get away from me. I'm trying to eat my lunch here." And now my nephew had hated Chicago from the minute he got there. He just fucking hated it. He's like, "It's like Newark." So yeah. So the guy's like, "We're gonna have to ask you to leave," and my nephew's like, "And I'm gonna have to ask you to go fuck your mother." So they took a picture of him when he was in the middle of giving them the finger, and I think they actually physically ejected him from the place and threw his hot dog after him.
Wait,
Yeah, that
Brooklyn?
sounds like he walked into.
No, he was in.
Brooklyn?
Is he from Brooklyn? No, he's
Yeah.
from Long Island. No, he's from Long Island.
Long
South
Island.
Shore.
I should have known by the accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm originally from over in Queens, Ozone Park, but I'm also from Long Island. But I'm not like, when I say Long Island, people immediately think, tennis courts, and I'm up on the North Shore, and everyone's, named either Chad or Todd, and they're all driving around in Maseratis with the top down and their fucking sweaters wrapped around their necks. Nah. I live actually in the hood. Like,
You
I'm
sound like the
outside.
kind of guy who would beat Chad's ass.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like, it's fucked up because I actually did take Tara and Burnside past like some of the tennis court areas and where they have all the horses and shit, and it is wild and it is beautiful. But then you come up in my neighborhood, you got the train tracks overhead because we got the overhead trains here. And it's dirty. There's potholes and shit. You got junkies and homeless guys all over the place. It's good times.
And I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh my god, it's like just at home."
Yeah.
Wasn't I, man? I was like,
You're
"Holy
actually
shit!"
considering moving there.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Over on the southeast side of Chicago and over where he's at, over on the island. Yeah, they're pretty much the same place. And that whole general area was like fairly Germanic, and I was like, "Ain't that weird? You're in a Germanic place, I'm in a Polak place. That's some weird shit."
Polak.
And now this is the thing, like a lot of people in my neighborhood, like at least my age, did not like Eminem when he first came out. Like they did not like him at all. Because a lot of people in my neighborhood, one, dressed like that and looked like that before Eminem started like acting like that. Like
Shit, I'm from Michigan. I don't like him.
Like I hate
there's
putting it
plenty
this
of reasons
way.
to not like that ass.
My neighborhood it's got to really, and when I say my neighborhood, not just where I live, but like the entire congressional district that I occupy, there's a lot of thugs, is the best way I can put it. And like people that are like pull out a piece and shoot at you in a bar, that sort of shit, just dumb shit. Really dumb hood shit.
Like Detroit
And
shit.
yes, yeah, exactly. Like the dumb shit you'd see in Detroit or parts of Chi-Town or any place like that. And this is the thing.
So
A
that's
lot
why
of
Burnside
people
felt at
immediately,
home.
yeah, a lot of people immediately think it's like, a black thing. And I told them, no, when you come out to New York, you cannot immediately assume that you're in a neighborhood that's, oh, okay, everyone around here is white, I'm safe. That is really stupid. Not just ignorant, racist, and bigoted, but it's extremely stupid because every neighborhood around here has people that are going to beat the bejesus out of you. Like, seriously. Like, we were driving, and we passed, flocks of Hasidics. So Burnside decided to be funny and have some fun with them out the window. And I told him, I said, bro, they will pull us out of this car and beat the fuck out of us. We're in their neighborhood.
Wait,
And
Jews?
yeah.
Jews.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, the Jew that was standing there with his locks and everything, he had only just had the his shirt cuff pulled up to like his elbow, but you could tell that man was muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my camera down waiting to take video, and I'm sitting there and Burnside makes this comment and I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, they won't fuck you up. You don't mess with the Hasidics. Those guys know how to brawl. I've seen them beat the shit out of people, like, badly. I won't fuck with them. Like, you gotta understand, they'll come up, excuse me, do you have a problem? If you have a problem, we can go out in the street right now and we could settle this. Because I'll tell you, it will get settled. You don't want to fuck with those guys. Seriously, man. This is the thing. I had always told Burnside and Tara about, when I say how bad Harlem is, what I mean by that is, like, Harlem is on lock. Harlem is
Oh, you got to tell
gangsta.
Warlock
Harlem-
that story.
Yeah, Harlem is owned. And what I mean by that is like, you go up into Harlem, de Blasio has lost complete control of Harlem. They
no
took
shit,
Harlem
DeBlasio's
back.
an asshat.
No, bro, I've lived in New York my entire life, and when I was driving with the two of them there, because I'm not gonna lie, I have not been up in Harlem in a few years. I have actually been sticking to the outer boroughs. I don't even venture into Brooklyn as much, like at the tip of the island. I usually stick to Queens at this point. I haven't had an interest really in going up in there. I used to go up into Harlem a lot back in the day. There was a few different restaurants I bop around in, and so driving, and I told the two of them, like, holy shit. What had happened was they had put all of the cars, instead of parking the cars in the space, they backed all of the cars in. So all of the cars were lined up in rows down the block. So now the street is narrowed into one lane. And while we're driving down the street, they had runners going up and down on bicycles examining us while we're in the car.
Literally, we had at least 4 just zipping by on their bicycles looking at us, and I'm just like, hey, yo, and she's sitting there recording like, I've never seen this shit before. This is weird. And I'm like, yeah, this means we got to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like really letting the action fly. I'm like, come on. Hey, yo, Scoop, come on. And,
Like, well, you remember what had happened when we first pulled off of the FDR, and we pulled up onto the Harlem River, and we shot up into the neighborhood. The minute we came to the light, the guy on the phone looked over at us, and he's like, we got white folks up in the neighborhood. You remember that?
They were hawking your
yeah,
ass.
he was like, yeah, what's with these white folks here with the off state plates or something like that.
Yeah, and
I didn't think anything of it. And then the next block up, we got a couple guys that like, yeah.
Remember what I said to you? I said, watch what's about to happen.
Yeah, and I was like, ain't no fucking. Oh shit, there's a guy on a bike. Oh shit, there's another. Hey.
Like they took it to another level. Back in the day when we used to drive through, what they would do is they would all come up and bright you. They just keep flashing their brights at you and flashing their brights at you. I have never seen it like what I saw when I went up in there. I was like, holy shit. The fact that that's like that and no one's talking about it, that's some shit. I mean, bro, that's like what the Sicilians used to pull back in the day. That's
Some like mobster shit.
Yeah, straight up gangster shit. Yeah, like I really think that de Blasio has lost complete control of the city because I think I told you what had happened when I was up over in Coney Island with the Russians.
Oh, I remember that story. Yeah, you sure that's good to mention on air?
What happened with the Russians?
What platform are you on?
Broadcasting through StreamYards and it's going on YouTube. I haven't figured out how to broadcast it anywhere else, so it's going to be on YouTube until I can figure out how to put it elsewhere.
To be fair,
live we can say anything.
Well, this is the thing, though. Like, I don't know any of these guys' names, these Russians, and not to sound like a dick, this is going to sound racist. They all look alike to me. They're all over 6.5 feet tall. They all have fucking shock blonde hair, nearly white, and ice blue eyes, a jawline like a fucking cinder block, and they look like if they punch you, they're going to kill you. That's basically the description I could give of these guys.
No, so they're all Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, exactly. They all. It was like fucking Red Scorpion all over the place. Yeah, I felt like I was in Red Scorpion half the time talking to these guys. Like I'm 6'2", and I had to crane my neck to look at some of them.
Holy crap! Someone else who's seen that movie.
Well, yeah, I was alive and kicking in the 80s. You forget that.
I know. I'm not used to many people knowing that film. My dad introduced me to that, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna like this."
Yeah, they would have a double feature, and for whatever reason, they would always pair that one with "I Come in Peace," which was awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most awesome movies ever. Dolph Lundgren, and I believe the cop that's opposite, FBI agent that's opposite him is Brian Benben, who was on Dream On HBO. But anyway, yeah, I could go off on a tangent on that. Well, the thing with Coney Island was, I think I told you, Coney Island back in the day, oh my God, Coney Island was horrible. It was bad. The last time I had been there was, I think, in either 93 or 94, and I seen two homeless guys get into a knife fight over by Nathan's. The whole boardwalk was torn up. There was like syringes all over the place, broken bottles, condoms, used ones, obviously.
So it looks like San Francisco.
No, bro, San Francisco was a step up from how Coney used to look. I'm talking, this is back when Dinkins was the mayor. It completely fell off. The Warriors, the movie The Warriors, how Coney Island looked in that would have been a step up to how it looked back then. It was bad. Coney was actually, it was condemned.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. But, so I had not been there in years, and my wife kept nagging me, and I always bitch about her, when I call her a Democrat, but the fact of the matter was, I thought that she was crazy about it. And, rather crazy for wanting to go there. I'm like, we're going to die. It's a death trap. And she's going on and on about all the urban renewal and everything. I'm like, yeah, I know that there was all that urban renewal in the Giuliani. I used to work over on Fulton Street.
All what's it called? Gentrification.
Gentrification back.
Yep, that.
Well, not even gentrification. It's not like the demographics changed in the neighborhood. It's just Giuliani actually put shit into working order. He put cops all over the place. He started firing people right and left who weren't doing their job because Giuliani, God bless him. He's got a bad personality. I don't like him as a man, but when it comes to like an official, bro, he was on point. He had that city running like a Swiss watch. I
Okay,
loved
guys, I
Manhattan
gotta
under
pass
Rudy.
out.
All
All right.
right.
Yeah.
Good night, Tara.
I
Have a
love
good
you,
night.
Fred.
Love you too, sweetheart. You have a good night.
All right. Good night, guys.
Yep, good night.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Arrivederci.
Sayonara.
So we go up into Coney, and I'm looking around, and I could not believe how beautiful Coney looked. It looked, obviously it's still a rat's nest, but I mean it was a polished rat's nest. I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, it looks really nice here. Now I see all these different folks. They were all from the islands. What it was the Caribbean Music Festival night. I didn't know that. So I see all these
Oh,
people,
I
but
remember this story.
but they're acting really skittish around me. And now the thing of it is, Burnside knows, and you've seen I had the camera on before. My eyes are the same color as this avatar, so I guess these folks must have thought I was a Russian. So
They thought you were an Ivanhoff.
yeah, exactly. So
Ivanhoff
what
versus Kalashnikov.
Yeah. So like I'm walking around there, and what it is, for anyone who's curious, the Russians took over Coney Island. It's like that movie Lord of War was actually not that far off. Coney completely belongs to the Russians. Lock,
Russian
Yep.
mob,
stock, and
correct?
back. Yes, sir.
Yes. All right.
Damn right.
You don't fuck
Yeah,
with
so
them.
yeah, you don't exactly. So we're at this music festival. It's me, my wife, my niece, and her friend. And it's getting late. It's actually dark at this point. It's probably like 8, 9 o'clock at night. It's not really a far burn from Coney to my house. It's maybe 20 or 30 minutes with the traffic. So I'm not too worried. So we're there, and it's me and my nieces and my wife. And I'm the fairest one out of the group. My wife's pretty dark. She looks like she's Mexican. And my niece is half Jordanian. And I think a friend that she had with her, like I'm saying, we didn't look like a white family per se. Like not that really matters, but I mean in today's political climate, they actually like would target you. I think, but I digress. We were the only ones there that I don't think were like from Jamaica or Trinity or like St. Martin or one of those places because it was the Caribbean Music Festival. So they're bumping their music, and it's the steel drums and the ska guitars, and it's really actually awesome shit to listen to. And all of a sudden, the music dies down, and they stop dancing, and the crowd parts like the Red Sea. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look, and it's these two little kids going down the boardwalk, playing with their toys and shit, crawling around on the floor, whatever. I think a boy and a girl, I don't know. They were dressing like actually older looking clothes, like like really goofy looking shit you wouldn't dress kids in nowadays in the 21st century, like a sailor suit, like that sort of shit. So I'm looking at them. They had to be maybe 3 or 4 years old, these kids. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, why are they parting for these kids? And then about maybe 5-10 yards behind them, there's this woman, and she is decked out in jewels head to toe. And she's wearing this I mean, it was a heat wave too, but she's wearing this gigantic white fur. She looked like a fucking polar bear. And walking next to her really slow, I'll never forget, it was this guy. He's in this tweed suit, really sharp looking number, and he's got on this red vest and a sharp looking yellow tie, and he's got on a watch chain. And he's got his hands in his pockets, and he's walking all casually next to her. And the closer they get to me, the quieter it gets. And now they're about maybe few yards away from me, and no one is making any noise. And this couple walks past with these kids walking in front of them, and they get about maybe 5 yards past me, 10 yards, and I hear the noise starting up again. And now when they're like maybe 10 yards past, the crowd's starting to form back together behind them, and the music starts playing again and whatever. So my wife looks at me and goes, what the hell just happened? So, I don't know. Let me ask one of these guys. I go, yo, hey, pal, let me ask you a question. He's like, yeah, man, what's up? I go, what the fuck just happened? Ah, that's the Father of Brighton Beach. Oh, really? Yeah. We be quiet out of respect for him.
Huh.
Oh, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. So I come back and my wife goes, "What's the matter?" I go, "Yeah, that was like the Soviet version of Don Corleone."
Yup. Sounds about right.
So she goes, "Oh, okay." So we go to leave after this, and we're walking up the bridge. Like this, it's one of those bridges that goes over the roadway and shit. And we go over the bridge, and we're walking back to the car, and we're coming down the bridge on the other side, and there's these two guys standing there, and they look like refrigerators and jackets. They were fucking enormous. The one guy had black hair, and the other guy actually. I even said to my wife later when we seen John Wick, I said, "I swear to God, I think it's the same guy." But the other guy who was standing there looked just like the guard in the beginning of John Wick, the big guy with the white fucking hair. And so I'm walking, and they're standing in my path. So
That's a
I
big
say,
bastard.
yeah. So I look at them, and I'm a big man myself, but these guys were huge. So I'm looking at them. I'm like, "Good evening, gentlemen." So this guy's looking right at me. "How are you?" "I'm good, sir. How are you?" "I am good." "Why you in neighborhood?" "Oh, well, my wife and my niece and her friend and myself were just over at Coney. We just watched the music festival. We were heading over to the car." "Oh, you were at park, amusement park, yes?" Yeah, that's correct." "Oh, you're tourists. You in neighborhood to you enjoying yourself at park?" Yeah, I was enjoying myself." "Oh, he's good, good." He leans in now, like, and leans over by my ear. "Any of them fuck with you? They give you any trouble?" No. No one gave me a hard time. Everyone was very polite. "Oh, he's good, good. You have a nice family. You seem like nice men. Anyone fuck
Oh
with you?"
shit.
He goes like this. No, he goes like this. He goes, "Anyone fuck with you? You come over the bar. Ask for Sasha. He's me. I fix." I go, "Oh, I appreciate that." So I go over and my wife's sitting there. She heard part of the conversation. She's being there. So I see you made a friend. I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Can we get in the car and get out of here?" I said, "This is actually turning out a little bit frightening." Well, no, he was really cool because he looked over, and I guess because he seen my niece standing there with the balloon, and he smiled when he seen that. I guess the guy liked kids or whatever, so he was being nice. But yeah, no, Coney's beautiful now, but fucking Russians took it over. But I try to tell that to everybody when you come here. Like people, they talk about, which I really love. All these young kids, they're talking about our diversity is our strength, and I'm looking at them like, are you fucking kids retards or something? Well, what are you talking about? Our diversity is our strength. Part of the reason that we have murders in this fucking city is because the wrong kid went into the wrong town, and a lot of the folks in there didn't look like him and looked at that kid and did not want him there.
Whoop his
Like,
ass.
yeah,
Yup.
Burnside went with me, and we went to. I took him and Tara, and we went up over into Tribeca. And we went to this place, and it's the first graffiti shop in America, is what the proprietor was telling us. So me and
Oh,
Burnside,
that's the place we got our mega hats around the corner from. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, we grabbed these MAGA woolies, the wool hats, and we were rocking them when we walked up into this man's shop. And he started talking shit to us. And what this fucking guy did, which was really stupid on his part, he assumed that all three of us were from out of town. He thought we were tourists. And Tara told him where she was from, and this guy laughed. And I just want to mention really quick two things. This guy was black, and immediately assumed that we were racist honkies. Literally, was what he was leaning at. And I use the
Yeah.
term honky specifically because it's funny, but I always
And on
just I
top
love.
of that, I told the
Mhm,
guy my name. I told him I'm Henrik Thorstensen. It's good to meet you.
mhm.
And he figured,
Yeah,
oh yeah, you're one of them extra white boys.
yeah. So what had happened was he's sitting there and he's telling the three of us about like how the MAGA hat is the new Klan hood. And so then he starts telling us about the Italian neighborhoods and how they used to beat the living shit out of the black guys just for cutting through their neighborhoods. So then he starts asking us where we're all from. He asks Tara, and Tara tells him where she's from. He asks Burnside, and Burnside says where he's from. And this guy chuckles. He's like, "Oh, Chicago, that's nice." You know, then I'm like, and he turns to me. He's like, "And what about you, big man? Where are you from?" I look right at him. I go, "Ozone Park." And it was nice. It was funny because I didn't know a black guy could actually go pale. And he tries to come back from it. He's like, "Where's that, Brooklyn?" And my eyes lit up when he said, "Where's that?" And I look at him, I smile, I go, "Nah, Queens." And so,
Oh, he got so pissed when he said that. Like, he was
yeah.
like, Brooklyn? Nah, it's just Queens. He got royally pissed when he said that.
There was this big guy that had come in the interim. He looked like he was close to 7 foot tall, but he was big and gawky, like a basketball player. And he's sitting there
The
telling
guy
us
looked like a cheap bass player is what he looked
Yeah.
like. He looked like a cheap bass player.
He had been saying how he was Antifa, and he was all pumped up and inflated. But the minute I said where I was from, he deflated and put his hands in his pockets. Now, for anyone who's watching or listening to this, if you're from New York, when you hear certain neighborhoods, it'll immediately make you stop doing what you're doing, because that usually means you're dealing with somebody that might actually be able to handle themselves, and if they can't, their neighborhood will actually show up for reprisal. So to get back to it, I say Ozone Park, and then he's like, "Where?" And I'm like, "Nah, Queens." And I go, "Yeah, it's one of those neighborhoods actually you were just talking about." And the reason I bring this up, when I was a kid, I luckily didn't witness any of this. And we had moved out of the neighborhood before I got the chance to witness any of this. The rules were in Ozone Park, you couldn't be black. That was it. That literally was a rule. And if you came into Ozone Park and you were black, you got taught the rule. And that's how it was. Now, this is the thing. Anyone hearing this, they're going to think, oh, it's, no, it wasn't white people. This was specifically Italians and Sicilians in this neighborhood and nothing else. There might have been a handful.
Problem with them, though, encroaching on their territory and shit. Correct?
Yeah. It was no, they not even encroaching on the territory. They didn't want you up in the neighborhood. It's really that simple.
Shit.
You weren't allowed in the neighborhood. And it wasn't just the blacks. No Puerto Ricans, no Jews, no Irish.
Damn, so
Damn, that's
there. I'm like half Irish, half German.
I'm half.
Oh, me too.
I'm half Irish, half Sicilian. I'm Irish and Sicilian myself. But no, the rules were, no, you can't go into an Italian or a Sicilian neighborhood if you're an Irishman. No, they don't want you in the neighborhood.
No, fuck no.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I was telling him, if we were to go up into Red Hook, the Irish might kill us.
Yeah.
Depending. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to literally pull out a couple names and hope somebody heard from him as far as Red Hook.
No,
so I was like, the Irish, we're gonna have a good time, and he's like, no, you don't want to go up in fucking Red Hook.
No, really? I could probably. Red Hook's all Irish.
Yeah.
And the Irish, we used to joke about them being like the Dead Army in the Lord of the Rings because the Irish keep their own, but that's literally really like, yeah, like that's yeah. You got to be Irish to be in the neighborhood. That's how it is. Like in that specific portion of Red Hook, you can't go into that. Now, this is the thing. Now, if you cross town, that's where all the Jews are, and it's the same deal in that part of Red Hook. You got to be a Jew. They'll come up and they'll kick your bar stool out from under you, and they'll grab you, help you to your feet, quote unquote help. Like, what the fuck are you doing in our neighborhood? And you're lucky if you can get out an answer.
Damn, I didn't know it was that rough, dude.
Yeah. I actually did watch, I'm not going to lie, I told Burnside about this. I did watch a race beating once. I didn't partake in it. I watched the end of it, like when I was coming up into the bar. I'm walking up, and I'm rocking a 3-piece. I got on. I was looking to the nines that night. I got on my Stingray skin shoes. I got on my leather duster. I'm smoking a Denobly, a Guinea Stinker, which is one of them twisted cigars.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my hair slicked back. You know, I'm all iced up. I forget where the hell I was coming from. I think at this point in time, I might have had my Cadillac. I'm not sure. So I looked the part. I really looked like, Kid Cousine, the greaseball, bandit.
Yeah.
So I'm walking up in there.
Pardon my language, but you look like a wop.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm walking up in there, and all of a sudden I hear, "Get the fuck out of here!" And we had, I believe it was at least 8. It could have been as high as 12. It could have been as low as 8. I think it was more like 8 to 10 feet. This cyclone fence. And this black guy comes spinning up over the fence like a top and boom, lands at the sidewalk at my feet, all bloody. Lifts up his head and he's looking at me. I'm all stunned. I look down at him. I'm like, I got no problem with you, pal. I don't even know what's going on. What's happening? And he goes, ugh, and passes out. I'm like, okay. So I step over him. And I'm walking up into the bar. Now, you think most people, this happens, they turn around and they go out, like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. Now, I was actually curious because this was my house. So I go in the bar, and as I go to walk in, a bunch of skinheads come past me with their clothes ripped up and they're covered with blood. And the lead skinhead, who's huffing and puffing like a fucking madman, is my boy. And I'm like, oh, shit. And he nearly knocks me over. So I'm like, oh, snap. He didn't even realize that was me. He's in the zone. What the fuck happened? So I go up in the bar, and the bar is destroyed. Completely destroyed. The rug is all torn up. The tables are all broken and knocked over. The chairs are all smacked up. The dartboard's actually broken. There's blood everywhere.
Damn, dartboard. Fuck.
Damn.
What did they do? Throw the ass off the dartboard?
No, they broke it over somebody's head, and the guy actually got a fractured skull. So,
oh, fuck.
I think I told you about that. The biggest guy that they brought in with them, one of them just took it and came up behind him and bang, and that was it. So, yeah, they had to replace the cigarette machine because one of them got put into it. Same thing with the juke. Yeah, same thing with the jukebox. That's why they got the electronic juke. Somebody got pushed into the juke head first. Like they put one guy's head into the juke, one guy's head got put into the cigarette machine, one guy's head got slammed into the touch thing where you make the chick strip with the cards on the thing. The touch screen games. Yeah, they got the memory and the strip poker and whatnot.
Yeah, you used to have one of those at the old bar before it got rolled over.
Yes. So I go into the back because I hear all this ruckus, and it's my boy, the bartender's brother. Now, this is the one I told you. Somebody opened his face up with a bottle of Southern Comfort. So going from his
that poor bastard.
From his left eyebrow down to his lower lip, following his jawline, there's a gigantic, deep scar. It actually looks kind of sick because the guy could have been a male model, and then he got this scar. But it literally looks like a Hollywood scar. So, and chicks dig it too because he's got like the blonde hair, the blue eyes. He looks like Schwarzenegger in his prime. He's the same size as me, but completely chiseled. So I walk out back because I hear the ruckus, and Big Mama's there, and she goes like, "Scoob, the fuck you doing? Where you been? You gotta break this shit up." I look over, and there's this black guy, and my boy's got him by the dreads, and he's blasting the shit out of him. And I mean, every punch he's hitting the guy, there's actually like red flecks hitting the wall. Like he's beating him that badly. So I look at her, I take a drag off the cigar, and I shrug my shoulders. I blow out the smoke. I'm like, the fuck you want me to do? He's winning. She's like, break him up. Like, oh, okay. I walk over, I'm like, yo, break it up. And he's like, the fuck out of here. I turn and I look at her, I go, I tried. So she's like, I'll break it up then. So she actually grabbed my boy by his throat and like, that's why we called her Big Mama. And she yoked him off of him. So afterwards, I asked him, I'm like, what the fuck happened? And he looks at me and he shrugs. He's like, everyone's mad at me. Everyone's angry. You know the rule, no N-words in the bar. That's the fucking rule. And a bunch of N-words walked in here. And they broke the rule by being N-words in the bar. I said, oh, okay. I walked away from it, and that was the end of it. But that was at my bar that had happened at, and like I try to explain to people because you talk to folks in other parts of the country, and they think it's the same here as it is there, and I tell them it isn't like neo Nazis, it isn't like Klan, it ain't like that. You're just gonna have people in certain neighborhoods. That's their neighborhood, and when you say it's like Polish. I try to tell people, no, it's not like Polish, like, your name is Kobolowski and you live up over in Ohio. No, I'm talking like they're Polish, like either them or their parents or their grandparents came here from fucking Krakow. No one here is more than second generation. I'm second generation. My grandfather, was an illegal. Forgot my mother's an anchor baby. I tell that to people all the time. Like, my family only came here in the late 1930s. My grandfather came here. Like, my grandfather came here not because he was mafioso, but because he was a tailor. And when Mussolini kicked all the mafia out of Sicily, Grandpa moved us here because we would have starved to death. Because I asked my father, I go, why did you move to Brooklyn? And he's like, Picciotta. My father was a tailor. Mussolini kicked all the mafia out of Sicily. He said, what is he going to do? There's no one left there but peasants. They're not going to buy three-piece suits. He had to leave. I go, oh.
Yeah, it's got a point
Right,
there.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like something out of a mobster movie.
Everyone says that. Everyone, bro, you got no idea. That's the reason I have such problems on the fucking internet because, like, this whole group of these. No, this whole group of doofuses that we got into this fucking mix with, like, literally started stalking me the fuck out because they're like, Scooby LARPs is a gangster, and I keep telling people, I'm like, no, Scooby LARPs is a guy who is a journalist who just wants to get the fuck on with his life and who happens to be related to people who know people and who, what I'm saying, it's one of those things.
Who
like
may
I
or
told
may
people,
not have done shit.
yeah, it's like
pretty much.
One of the things I told people when I came on here was like the movie Goodfellas. My father knows.
He hates that movie.
Yeah, I hate that movie. That my father knows all of those people. Like, personally knows all. And like he literally, I told him, like, with that movie, he's like, no, Picciotta, that movie is complete exploitation. That Scorsese's a piece of shit. Like, a lot of people from that neighborhood do not like that movie because they said it's some Hollywood sensational bullshit. And
stereotypical to an extent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very stereotypical.
Like, to give you an idea, my father knew Henry Hill. And my father knew Jimmy Burke. My father was actually friendly with Jimmy Burke.
Man.
My father, the guy that they beat to death in the bar, Billy Batts, that night that they beat him in the bar, he had his last meal at my parents' house, their old house, before they moved out here. That's where he had his last meal. He had dinner with my parents, him and his wife, or I think girlfriend. I got to ask my mother when she's around. Had dinner with my mother and father because my father and him worked together on the truck for I think 5 years at that point. And my father and him were very close friends. So, like, the scene in the movie, my father didn't like that. He didn't like the way that he was portrayed in the movie. And, like, it's funny because
like how they're portrayed in that shit.
Joe Pesci, get this. Joe Pesci's character in that movie, in real life, Burnside, you've met me in real life a few times now. That character is my size.
Yeah, he's a big bastard.
Yeah, and he actually, when my mother used to work at the bar, he actually used to come into the bar all the time trying to pick up my mother.
I remember you mentioning that, yes. You told me that about twice.
Get this. Well, you're going to get a kick out of this, man.
Yeah.
The two people that used to constantly come into it was a bar at that's where it was. It was a bowling alley in Valley Stream, and my mother worked at the bar there. She was the bartender.
Yeah.
The two people that a lot of people came in there constantly trying to pick up my mother because when she was younger, she looked like Lucille Ball. She was Irish. And so the two people that used to constantly come in there to try to pick up my mother was Tommy DeSimone, who was the guy that I hope I'm saying his last name right. That's the guy who Joe Pesci played in Goodfellas, and Steve Buscemi. He was an actor.
No shit.
Swear to Christ, because the way I found this out is we were watching. I think it was an episode of Tales from the Crypt where Civil War
Which
soldier.
episode?
I think because he's been in a few episodes, not the one where he gets the disease down in South America and he's rotting. I
Okay.
believe it was the one where or it might have been another movie. It might not have even been Tales from the Crypt, but Steve Buscemi plays like a Civil War soldier. And I think it's like a gunslinger movie, and he's just wearing his old uniform, even though he's like riding with these soldiers or whatever. And he was in a bunch of different movies at the time. This was like in the early '90s, I think. And my father like kept
He was
referring
in
to
a
him as that.
couple of the. He was in a couple episodes from Tales of the Crypt. So because wasn't he even in Demons of the Night?
Demon Knight,
And that was
yeah.
like-
And
Yeah.
he might have. I think it was Desperado. And I think my father was talking about. He kept referring to him as that kid from the neighborhood. And my mother goes to my father, "Oh, hon, I remember him. That's the guy that used to come into the bowling alley all the time." Like, this is the thing, like, for whatever reason, and I actually have the same problem that my parents had. New Yorkers, we tend to not really be impressed by celebrity because you actually see celebrities so much around here.
Yeah.
So, like, that's part of the problem I had with them on here was because, like, I'm not impressed by celebrities. It just don't do it for me.
No, you see him every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty
like,
sure you even seen Trump in person before he was president.
Not me, but it's funny you bring it up. My father actually knew the man.
Damn.
They had met. What had happened was my father drove a cement mixer for the union. There's actually a lot to this, so you're gonna get a kick out of this. He
The
drove a
union under
cement mixer.
Hoffa?
Yeah, Local 282 International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Yeah. My father drove for the Teamsters. My brother drove for the Teamsters. Like, part of the thing is, like, the reason my father knew so many of these wise guys was they're all dead, so knock yourselves the fuck out. I could be uncle with the wrong carding company, to which my camera's off, but I'm just shrugging my shoulders and I say, what am I going to do? These guys have all been dead over 30 years. I'm not going to call up my cousin at, 1:45 in the morning my time, like, hey, Dominic, how are you? Listen, I know we haven't talked in the better part of a decade, but which company did your father own again? I'm not going to do that. So,
Yeah, get this.
but let's say if did the wrong order, whatever. Uncle Nicky owned All Island Carding. Uncle Sallow owned All County Carding. And Uncle Mikey owned All City Carding, if I remember correctly. So they were all in the garbage business. So that's what got my father into driving the trucks when he was younger. This is back in, I'd say, the late 40s before he went into the service. So he was a teenager at the time. He was probably young driving those trucks. This was right after the war, obviously. And so then my father went into Korea in the early to late 50s. I forget whenever the hell that war went on. And then he came home and he started driving for the union. So my father was driving a cement mixer for the union since the 50s. So my father was like a savant when it came to pouring cement. The man could like give you some sculpture shit with the cement mixer. He was really he was good with it. Yeah. So he did what they call is the sump. He would pour the sump. They would have the drivers pour the sump. My father could pour the sump dead center every time, get it perfect. I have no idea what the fuck that means, but it's a big deal to these guys. So my father was
yet
aces
they
with
fucked up my driveway.
That sucks.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well. They fixed it.
So
I'll
my
be back in a
father
few minutes.
had
I gotta use the restroom. So both you gentlemen have the floor.
Knock
I'll be
yourself
back
out.
here in a matter of minutes.
Sure. So the old man wound up driving for the local for better part of a few years, and he wound up. He was on all the government jobs. This is through the Eisenhower project,
Yeah.
and my father was the one they would have. They'd have him pour for all the government buildings, and because he was good at it. So if you go into New York City, that's all of the boroughs, by the way, and Long Island also. And you ever look at any government buildings, if they were erected anytime after 1955, there's about a 95% chance my father's the one who poured the foundation.
Damn.
So yeah, that's all he did all day, every day. So it was because of this. It was because of this experience my father poured the foundations for the entire World Trade Center complex because he was the top driver. So
Yeah.
that's what he did. He poured the main. He was one of the drivers. He was on the main pour for the foundations for the World Trade Center. I would tell people this all the time. They're like, they had more than one cement mixer driver there. What do you think? They had a bunch of drivers going back and forth? And I go, I'm aware of that, schmuck. But you see, the thing is, like the crucial key points, they would have a head driver, and that would be my father. Like, when they had like the main support points that had to be made in the foundation, he's the one they would use. So when Trump went to pour the foundation for Trump Tower, he specifically asked for that driver, who was my father. The first time that they met, my father, I believe, spoke to him for a few hours. Not all in one shot, like, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, and maybe actually at length at one point. Because Mr. Trump was always very interested in talking to people like that. He was always a people person. He met Trump on a few different, met Trump on a few different occasions after that. He knew my father by name. Hey, Junior, how are you? So he poured the foundation for Trump Tower, and because of how that came out, because Trump has always used language like terrific, fantastic, perfect, impeccable.
He's an awesome guy.
Yeah. He had said my father's job was perfect. So my father wound up pouring the foundation for every other building for the Trump company that they erected in Manhattan. And again, he was so impressed with what my father did. He pulled in favors and had my father actually go to Jersey to pour the foundation for those casinos he had, the Taj Mahal and the other one. I can never remember the name of it. And it was because of this that he had mentioned to him, because Mr. Trump had brought it up with my father. I think he had actually asked him if he knew anybody who did carpet and anything of that nature, carpet, flooring, tile, and covering on a grand scale. And my daughter's husband. And so that was how my brother-in-law wound up doing the carpeting and flooring and tile for the Trump organization. He's been doing it now for the better part of 35 years.
He's still doing it?
Oh, yeah. He's been doing it under contract with them for years. He's had a really good standing contract with them. And I get a kick out of this when people would say to me, oh, well, Trump's racist. And no, he ain't, man. Take my word for it. I'd say take my word for it, man. No, don't worry about that. And no, well, like when they were talking to travel ban, somebody said to me, he's like, he hates Arabs. I go, no, he doesn't. No. They're like, hey, they go, can you prove it? I go, yeah, actually I can. They're like, yeah, how can you? I go, my sister's husband has been doing his flooring for 35 years. They're like, so how does that prove that he doesn't have a problem with Arabs? I go, well, my sister's husband's name is Awad Kahoud. And they're like, oh. I go, yeah, he's Jordanian, you shitball. Like, I had somebody say to me, like, that's part of the reason that a few people had problems with me on here is because, like, the way I talk, like, somebody goes like this to me, they're like, you're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that. I go, really? Okay, check this out. I go, my sister's husband is Jordanian, which means my nieces and nephew were all half Arab. Then I got my sister-in-law and her wife. That's Aunt Susan and Uncle Margaret. Then we got my one nephew, his wife, beautiful girl, sweetheart of a girl. My one nephew's wife is a Muslim. So just to recap, my sister's married to an Arab. My sister-in-law is, when I say this, I'm not saying this trying to take a shot at her. She is literally a Harley Davidson riding bull dyke. And then I got my nephew with his my nephew with his wife, who she literally, she looks like one of them peasants you would have seen in in Borat. That's how she dresses because she's an Albanian Muslim.
Yeah.
And
I work with a bunch of Albanian Muslims. They're nice people.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's my nephew's wife. I tell people all the time. I'm like, I got an Albanian Muslim for niece. I got a freaking Jordanian brother-in-law, and I got a lesbian sister-in-law. So yeah, tell me again how I'm one of these racist, homophobic, whatever ism, phobia shit because I like the president. Nah, you know what? You can take a shit in your hat, put that thing on, screw it on sideways, and go jogging around the block twice. Fuck you. That's what I
with
tell
your
them.
SJW agenda shoved up your ass.
Yeah, oh fuck them with their SJW shit. I actually got into it in the mix with this fucking guy named Orc with 2 Ks in Crout and T. I was in his server. I'm still in there, I think, unless he pitched me. But I was in there making merry and fucking with his lefty crew. And I got one of them there, and these people were all happy when they heard my accent until I started telling them my politics, and then they couldn't wait for me to get the fuck up out of there. Because I told them, I said, yeah, we got any Americans up in here? And they're like, oh, yeah, me. I go, oh, yeah, that's great. Listen, are any of you from New York? No. Well, I am. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's great. Listen, my home is one of the most diverse places on earth, if not the most diverse. Yes, we're all aware of it. I said, yeah, I know you're all aware of it because you all keep talking about it. Listen, do me a favor. Keep my home the fuck up out your mouth. No, seriously, don't talk about my home. Stop trying to use my home as the model for what you want to do to this country. Because let me tell you something. I've never been to Alabama. I've never been to Kentucky. I've never been to Texas. I'd love to go to these states in the future, and I'd love to check them out. But you know what? I actually want to experience the authentic Alabama, the authentic Kentucky, the authentic Texas. I don't want to experience this SJW knockoff New York shit that you're trying to push. Like, look, I'm not trying to be a racist dick here. I don't particularly think that there's a large fucking Hmong population in Kentucky, for example. I mean, I don't think if I go into, let's say, fucking Wisconsin, I'm going to run into swaths of Southeast Indians just off the fucking top of my head, Like, I'm saying New York is diverse because that's our shtick. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are my fellow New Yorkers on the internet constantly and on Twitter screaming at people in fucking, bumfuck wherever, like you have to be more diverse. You need that. Yeah. I was gonna say at first I was gonna say Kalamazoo, Michigan, but I'm gonna be like, nah, let me not hit too close to home. But
actually, that is close to home. I'm like an hour and a half north of that shit.
Well, I was trying to think. I was gonna say the most bumfuck place I could think of. I'm like, wait a minute. He said Michigan. I'm not gonna fucking start calling his home state bumfuck. But like,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
you can bust my balls. I can take it.
No, actually, a lot of people around here, we hear Michigan, we think that the whole state is Detroit. And like I gotta tell people all the time, no, it's not like what the fuck? Do you think Ted Nugent goes all the way to Wisconsin to go hunting? Nah. He stays in his own state, man. But like I just
you think Bob Seger does it either? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't stand, like, it was funny. Me and Burnside and Tara, we were down in D.C. like 2-3 years ago. We're up in this bar, and there's all these, it was a really weird, it was an Antifa bar, and it's full of all these gay guys in Hawaiian shirts. I'm not even kidding about that. And it's all these gay guys in Hawaiian shirts, and Burnside, your microphone isn't working. And they had this one hot chick with them. No, your mic's still not working. And I had thought she was a lesbian. She was actually really nice looking. Tara had explained to me she's what they call like a fag hag or whatever. She's like one of these chicks that surrounds herself with gay guys to, I don't know, because she has low self-esteem or some shit. But you got it working yet, Burnside?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
So,
by all means, tell him the story about that bra that was all over me while I was just trying to get beer.
Okay, I'll go to that next. So we're up in the bar, and we're sitting there, and Tara decides she's going to tell this entire bar of Antifa that she isn't a Trump supporter, but he and I are. I wanted to fucking kill her at that point. I'm like, thanks. So this girl decides she's going to pontificate about how we have to make sure that we only go to places that sell diverse, only diverse owned places, this, that, and the third, avoid white owned places. And so Tara immediately starts trying to like talk to the girl about this. Me, I just start laughing. And this girl gets like this, humiliated look on her face. And like the gay guy sitting next to her goes, forget it, you're wasting your time. They're not going to listen to you. So
Oh yeah,
I
he
go
got
like
in
this.
with that when I was trying to tell him about the importance of Roger Stone being there. Was when he's like, he forget about it, because he was
They
like
need to
asking.
pardon that man. Swear to God.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's
So-
gonna get a fucking pardon. I hope. God damn.
So I look at this girl and I'm laughing, and like the gay guy goes, he's like, "Forget it, don't talk to them. They're not gonna listen." I go, "No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful." I look at her, I go, "Look, honey, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm from Queens." I said, it's the most diverse place on earth. All day, I'm doing diversity out the ass. Seriously, diversity here, diversity there, here, diversity there, diversity everywhere, diversity. Old McDonald had diversity. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's diversity all over the fucking place. I said, so you don't got to tell me. I said, honestly, no offense. For me, the trip would be to walk around here and actually go to a store owned by a white person. I haven't seen something like that since I was a kid. And it was funny to me that they're sitting there and they're telling me I got to go to these diverse stores and only deal with diverse places and diverse shit. And it's like, the fuck is with you people? Do you know how insulting that shit is? Hi, how are you? We're only in your store because you're black. If I was black and somebody said that to me, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my store. I don't want your money. Seriously.
It's
That's some
trendy,
insulting
that's
shit.
why. They push that shit.
It's
Yeah, it's
it's
denigrating
so-
nonsense is what it is, but they want to
Yeah.
make an inverse of reality to where denigration is approval and approval is denigration. Because Inkstock says so.
I told you I got thrown out of the school again while I was filling out the paperwork to go in. They
Yeah,
actually
no,
gave me a
that's
hard
bad.
time about it. Yeah. I got called down to the dean's office the first day of school before school even started because she wanted to have a talk with me because she said I triggered the entire financial aid office.
that's that's one of my
Can
Yeah,
their demographic?
Well, what it was, I went in there and I filled out the paperwork and they started giving me a hard time. And because I don't look like what I had filled out on the paperwork, so I started giving them the mental gymnastics and they started scowling at me. They're like, why did you fill out African American? You're not black. I said, believe it or not, so's everyone in Africa. They're not all black. There's different parts of the country. I said, some people are black, some people are urine colored. Some people, they look a different color. There's some people, they look like this. I said, it's a fucking continent.
There's a lot of white people in South America. There's a lot of Asian people in Africa now too.
Yeah.
It's becoming
So
diverse.
she's like this. She's like, you type in Hispanic. She's like, but not Latino. How's that work? I said, well, because I got ancestry from Hispaniola. I said, look at my last name. I said, that's actually Spanish. She goes, yeah, no, I'm aware that's the Spanish last name. I said, okay, good. So, like, she got annoyed because I had marked all of this different shit. And I had explained it to her, and she said, well, you can't do that. And I said, why? And so she explained to me her reasoning. I said, well, if that's the case, then I said, why are all of these people here marking African American? If their ancestry is the 400 years that they keep talking about, my family has only been here for X amount of years. I said, according to your own methodology that you're just explaining to me, I have more right than any of them to put this shit down here.
So you're trying to tell me my middle name is Alonzo, so I can write Spanish.
No, I'm trying to tell you my ancestry like my family was from Morocco and where is that other fucking Tunisia
Isn't
by
Alonzo
way.
Italian too? Technically?
Yeah, Alonzo is Italian. Yeah.
So then maybe I have a little Italian.
Elanzio is Italian.
Yeah. No, Alonzo is Italian. I got a cousin Alonzo. I got a cousin
A little
Maurizio.
bit of Italian in me. It's a family name.
I'm
The eighth generation to have it as a
like
first or middle name.
like my father, to give you an idea, his full government, which I've dropped a few times, and it's only because they can't. These morons can't spell it, and they're too lazy to go hit up anybody over in Italy or whatever to find it. But my father's full government was Ignacio Giovanni Salvador di Scudiere, and that basically, yeah. So they'd see like I'd fill out my shit on the paperwork, and they're looking at that name, my name, and they're looking at me. They're like, "That's a Sicilian name," and I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." And they're like, "But you have Hispanic marked here, and you have African." And I'd explain to them, and they'd scowl at me, and I'd say, "I forget which. I might be mixing them up. One part of the family was from Morocco, and the other part of the family was from Tunisia, and they both came to Sicily due to in the beginning of the 19th century there was this big ass famine that lasted for like a good couple of decades and was killing the Sicilians. So a lot of land opened up. So their parents, my grandparents, Sicily." And that's the thing. And I told her, I said, so it was only they were only there for 2 generations, and they came to America. And so this woman had a puss on her face because of her. I think it was like 2 generation rule. I could actually put down everything I put on the paperwork. And so she was all sorts of fucking pissed off about that because they had like certain things in New York, like for grandfather clauses. Because they had grandfather clauses on the books back in the day, they put all this different shit in for people that grandfather clauses affected. Once they did away with grandfather clauses, though, they never did away with all the benefits for people that are less than 2 generations. So people like myself who were 2 generations, we still get all this shit. So that's why this woman was all honked off, because I'm sitting there as American as fuck, but I get the same shit as the guy who just rolled off of the fucking turnip truck. And because of specifically because of their diversity grab bag shit, I basically won the lottery. I told her, I said, yeah, the only way this could do any better for me is if I was half Polynesian, half Eskimo, and if I fucking, was a Sufi. She got really pissed off when I said that, but whatever.
Hey, you pissed off your local communist Democrats. What else?
Yeah, well, that's when they reported me. I think I told you. I walked.
Communist.
Yeah, they are
No
commies.
Democrat.
Yeah, and So, all right, I'm in there, and this woman is helping me. She's like the college equivalent of a guidance counselor, and this is the first thing I want to mention. The only lighting she had in the room was, and this thing was about the size of one of those small tabletop barbecues by Weber. This gigantic salt lamp. Like, you ever see those, the salt lamps?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about, the ones that they refer for as statics that aren't very effective.
My grandparents had
you ever
one.
see, this one was about 48 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 feet high. It was this gigantic salt lamp she had lighting up the whole room.
Yeah.
Now this is the thing. I've made this comment before, and I've told this to people many times. I've been with my wife for a while. I'm very happily married. So I'm not the type that usually goes oogling women or eyeballing them. So for me to say I noticed that this woman was completely balls naked under the thing she was wearing was probably because of her silhouette from the sodium lamp. She was wearing like one of those, I don't fucking know. The chicks from India wear them all the time. Those dresses that look like they're made out of fucking lampshades or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a whole bunch of different sheets and veils. That's what this broad was wearing, and it was like I guess like a yellowish color. So this sodium lamp, she's leaning there filling out the stuff, and basically she was nude. She was nude because the lamp and the dress against each other were like they were invisible. So she's sitting there basically. I mean, she might as well have not been wearing anything. And so she's filling out the paperwork, and this is making me uncomfortable as it is, and because she's a nice looking woman. But the problem is, like, I'm sitting there and I'm with this guy, and the guy who's helping me, he's like the state person that they assigned to me because New York is just so much fun with all their agencies. And he's younger than me, but he's a retired NYPD cop because I actually was with the cop who's famous for getting fired from NYPD for laying out the guy in Zuccotti Park a few years ago. That's the
Ted.
guy that they assigned. Yeah, the young
Yeah.
redhead cop. He was a rookie cop who broke the guy's jaw and laid him the fuck out. It was in all the papers. That's the guy who was helping me.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy.
which, by the way, yeah. And the guy, get this, the cop was a progressive Democrat too, but he was a decent guy. So I know, right? That's an oxymoron.
Interesting.
wait,
Decent guy and progressive Democrat. I never would have thought the two would mix. I'd normally figure pedophile and Democratic progressive, but all right.
But would you think? But would you think NYPD? But
Normally, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm working with this guy, and he's a nice guy. You know, he's got a lot of anger issues, obviously. And so the woman looks over, and she sees that I got my cane with me, and she sees on the cane that I got that American flag wrapped around it. And she's like,
"Oh shit!"
So she goes, "What's with the flag?" So I say to her, "Oh, well, we're an immigrant family. I'm only second generation, but since my family came here, we've all been military. My father was in the Navy. My brother was a Marine. My cousins are all Marines, or all of my. I said so. A lot of my uncles were Navy. A few people were Merchant Marines. A few people were Coast Guard. I said, and every day, my father would have us up every morning with the sun for reveille to raise the flag, and then he'd want us home before sundown.
That's old school.
He'd want us home
yeah.
before sundown for taps to lower the flag and to do the 12 folds, and then we would go in for dinner. I tell this to this woman, and without even missing a beat, she goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. We offer counseling for that here on campus."
And that's the reason I love
Counseling?
this guy.
Yeah.
For being an American.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I love this guy.
For being a patriot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to
And
you have to undergo some form of counseling for being a patriotic American, because you want to pay respect to the country that allowed you to have what you have.
Your freedoms you have now.
Exactly. You're
being
going
taken away.
Yeah, that's the comical irony. He's being criminalized as an individual to go into his front yard, salute the flag, have one of his parents or relatives go and lower the sucker down, and then afterwards fold the sucker up and take it in, and then when it comes to the right time in the morning, suck it back up again. Because that's allegedly so anti-progressive, anti-American. But
they don't even
fucking
say the Pledge
children.
of Allegiance in school anymore. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
Off.
Oh, I hate that immeasurably. I hate that so much. You know what I decided to do? Here, I'm gonna show you. Oh, okay. Hold on. Looks like it fell over. Here, let me set this up for a. There we go. Okay. Oh, your very anti-Semitic flag. There you go.
It's
Here's
just a cross. That's not
Yeah.
anti-Semitic.
Oh, according
to the
to
SJWs, it is.
Oh yeah.
yeah, according to the state of Illinois, it's very anti-Semitic. They hate the hell out of it. God forbid anyone remind them that during the First World War we all got along. God forbid.
Yeah. Well,
That
I
same
hate
Iron
saying
Cross isn't that the same Iron Cross the Templars use?
It is indeed. There's a little bit of deviation depending upon the orders, but more or less, yes. But yeah, absolutely hate the crap out of it. You're a regular patriotic American. You're a standard citizen that comes from that general background. Forget it.
Yet they want to brainwash you and tell you what you're doing is wrong and it's un-American. No, that's the most American thing you can do.
Yeah, that's the reason why the particular green screen background I have, I picked up the little pieces of propaganda. Because Yeah, it'll piss them off royally if they pay attention.
When one of the women there told me I had white privilege was when I decided to start with the triggering. This is when I said to her, I said, no, actually, I don't identify as white. I am Caucasian, but I'm not white. I said, you just misidentified me. What do you mean? Well, my father was a Sicilian, and because of my mixed heritage, I said that that woman just sat there and had a whole conniption fit over that I wasn't filling out my paperwork right. I said, it seems to me that you're racially misprofiling me. I said, that's a microaggression. And there's a safe space warning on that door there. I said, so you realize what you've just done, didn't you? I said, you violated your own hate codes. And like they all started freaking the fuck out on me. And like I had told them, I said I felt really uncomfortable because of all the rainbows all over the place. I said, you know, and they said to me, well, you know, this, that, and the third, that this is supposed to be a safe space and what you're doing. I said to them, I held up my hand. I said, I identify as cast gender. And they said, what the hell is that? I said, look it up in your little handbook. I said, cast gender is a gender that does not want to hear about genders at all. I said, so by you doing that, I said, now you've just engaged in a macroaggression.
Number 2.
They actually reported me. The whole fucking office reported me. The dean called me down the first day and she said, I've never had a report come in with a signature from every single representative of an office. She said, even the girls who work as interns signed. What the hell did you do in my office? I told her, I said, well, it was a pit full of shrews, so I went in there with a pitchfork. Yeah.
You're my hero.
And this is why this man is hated by the internet, because unlike most people who would rather capitulate to power, he will not only use Sun Tzu's The Art of War, but he will presume to beat you with it. He will use the force of the enemy against you and succeed wholeheartedly. And those who are not able to understand this hate the shit out of him, because he's intelligent enough to do
he's
this
a true
great
fucking
reversal.
patriot. You both are.
Thank you very much for that.
Mm-hmm.
I love being America's top criminal.
I love my country. I mean, I really love this country because I love this country, believe it or not. My love of this country is it's on some dorky shit the same way that Sargon has that wild hair up his ass for ancient Greece and ancient Mesopotamia and all that shit. My thing about America to me is like the alternate universe version of the Roman Empire. It's like the Roman Republic if it was actually good.
Why do you think they refer to us as New Babylon?
Well, they can refer to us as
much are.
I look at America as like this is the second coming of like what the Roman Republic could have been.
It is indeed.
Yeah, and that's I'm sorry. To me, Rome was like the pinnacle of ancient Greece and Rome. And I'm not just saying it because of a bias of my ancestry, but specifically for that sort of a thing. Like when me and Burnside were in DC, my God, I just was so taken aback. To me, it was like a romanticized version of like Athens, like this fantasy belief, like. It reminded me almost of like when you see Disney's Hercules, like the really nice looking backgrounds that they had of the ancient cities in ancient Greece. That's what DC reminded me of. And I told him, like, you go into Manhattan, that is not anything I'm interested in fighting for. But when I go into other parts of the country, you know, and you see like the horse farms and, you know, like you see like old Philadelphia, which is a beautiful city, or Boston, or even you go into parts of Brooklyn and Queens, you know, those are cities I like. Baltimore I've been to. And then you go into the rural parts of the country. And I don't know if you ever been in upstate New York, in the Hudson River Valley. Why in the fuck wouldn't I want to fight for this? But, you know, it just, and to me, I see like I'm sorry. I when I went to DC, I told him this to me. The only thing that would make this better is if everyone around here was wearing togas. It just would fit perfectly. So I told him, I said, we were at Moore 1 and we're all standing around in the National Mall and we're arguing politics with people. And I told Burnside, I turned to him, I said, believe it or not, this is going to sound dorky. This is probably the happiest I've been in a long time. I said, because I'm standing on the middle of on a rolling hill in the middle of like all this classical Greco Hellenistic architecture, and we're arguing politics. And I told him the one thing that annoys me though is everyone here, including us, we're all dressed like bums. That was the one thing that bothered me. Like we were all people are wearing like crazy T-shirts and hats, and they're wearing these wild outfits. But we're having intellectual conversations. I told them I
It's
would
like
have
the
just
Pantheon.
right, but it was like the Pantheon that got it got invaded by NASCAR fans, and I
Yeah,
told him I
quite
said,
literally, all of us were
yeah,
dressed very elaborately, very awkwardly. Like, I have one token video that shows how I was dressed during my attempt to make a speech at the first Mother of All rallies. And even then,
yeah.
everyone's not dressed too awkwardly than I am. And I'm out there.
And
I've got a
this
Chinese kung fu vest on with a whole bunch of medals and hearsay on it.
So it was almost a spiritual experience.
yeah,
Very
it
much
was.
so.
I told him the only thing that's like it, literally I've compared the scene we were in to it was like the scene in the movie the original 300 where they're at like the Senate chambers and they're talking at the end of the movie. I told him it was like that, but everyone looked, they look like they were all wearing the shit that they, like wear when you just coming off of the plane at the airport from Florida and you got on all the tourist shit. I said it was like a bunch of tourists were in that scene. I told him I would have probably enjoyed it if we were in DC if everyone was wearing togas and laurel leaves. I know that sounds fucking weird as hell, but it would have just fit with the environment. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you went, let's say, to a ghost town in the middle of Nevada and everyone was walking around dressed like 1930s gangsters. It doesn't fit. It's the same thing. Like we're there. I told him it literally looked like like NASCAR had come.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't like us. We were
Do any of you
opportunistic.
game at all? Weird question, but
I most oh shit, I have a hole in my hand.
oh my god.
I most definitely do. Oh, I don't have a hole in my hand. But I do, but I
No.
don't.
When he's describing what he's seeing, all I can think of is Assassin's Creed Odyssey and the architecture out of that.
Oh, and I actually got the rare chance to sit in at one of the few previews they had for Origins.
I'll be
And
right
that was
back.
really
Give
good.
me 1 second, guys.
All right.
All right, you go on ahead. I'll continue with the nerd. I had an odd chance where my mother sent me something from Craigslist and said, you know what? Hey, this is related to video games. You should check it out. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll give it a go. And it was one of those review businesses or review platforms, whichever you have. And they were wanting people to review Assassin's Creed Origins. They didn't say what the company was, didn't say what the game was, they just showed the pictures.
That's the one in Egypt, correct?
Yes, that is the one in Egypt. I watched that. I liked the shit out of it, and the one funny thing was the woman who was in charge, she really did not like the fact that I was historically educated. I was going on about, okay, so this is going on during the reign of the Greeks, right? Yes, of course, this is going on during the time of Greece have the occupation of Egypt. the Greeks on the occupation of Asia. Let's
with
just go on
Alexander.
about that. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so this is when the Hero King loses control. What do you mean? This is Alexander the Great. This is the Hero King. This is a man who conquered the class of least. Yes. And I'm talking about, okay, you're talking about the Middle East. You're talking about the Hero King's death. Talking about his generals turning against each other to hold fiefdom over what was then the known Middle East and the Greek Empire at the time. Them fighting about it. And then technically, you have the Egyptians and the Arabs fighting for their independence. And I'm talking about this, and she's like, you know, no idea what the hell's going on. And everyone else is like, hey, we want our money for the fucking tube, man. I'm like, okay, I just want to know because you know I figured if I'm playing this game, I want to know what mercenaries I want to hire. And she, you know, hire, you know, this job here, you know, go shit your people and have fun, you know. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I really didn't expect it, but depressingly enough, it seems people in the video game industry they really don't give a shit about history.
Well, I could have told you that.
Yeah,
It's all about profit.
Regrettably, yeah, because the one good thing she did show was she showed some artworks that they had, and she wanted to gauge our response. And I really chimed in on one of them because I knew a good thing or two. She showed two different propaganda pieces for the origins, and she showed one version of traditional. I kind of say it was more of the Hellenic armor for the Empire, and the other version was more occult for the counter. The reason I'm saying this, I know there's going to be a lot of chronic and F masturbators who are going to say, well, why don't you talk about such and such and such, and counter such and such and such? Hey, I sat in there for about 40 minutes. I ate my fucking peanuts. I collected my $20. I gave my historical input, and they gave no flying fucks and were very fucking afraid of it. And that's about the end of it. Because I wanted to tell them about the Greek Empire receding after the death of the king hero, and then the revolts picking up shortly thereafter. They didn't know. They didn't give a flying fuck. They were very deeply disturbed. A fucking English lady gave me a dirty fucking look when I tried to bring up the fucking history.
Just like how at the end of the game he's sitting there playing playing a harp, I think it was, while all of Rome burns. That didn't happen.
Nope. Rome definitely did not burn until very long after. Rome did stay up for a good long time, but they eventually got anal raped in the end due to one circumstance or another, and they're going to turn just as the Origins game of from Assassin's Creed ended.
Well, you got to look at it this way. Think about this: as a Catholic, a good portion of what you believe, is based on it's based on them not knowing what they were reading. Okay, 666 in the Bible. That's actually Nero.
Yep.
The Jews hated Nero. Basically, the Revelation of Saint John was actually one of the oldest propaganda pieces you're gonna read. So the devil and all of that shit that you're literally reading propaganda. the revelation of Saint John is actually on the same level as Frank L. Baum's The Wizard of Oz, being a shot at Congress and Parliament, the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wicked Witch of the East.
Mhm.
That I actually knew.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the part with the devil, and the other thing, like Lucifer, that's a Latin name that would have nothing to do with Hebrew. The reason
No.
that
His actual
that
name was Beelzebub, correct?
no, Beelzebub is
Right.
actually that's that's a Philistine word. Beelzebub
Oh,
literally translates to the Lord of the Dung Heap. That was actually that was a shot at the name Baal. Baal is actually a title that they would
yep.
give you. It just literally translates to Lord. That's all Baal means. So, like Baal Ba'edert was, let's say, for example, one of the gods that was worshipped. Bahal Habib was another one. They were all different regions, and all that meant was Lord. Just like in that part of the world, Stan at the end of their country, like
Turkmenistan,
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan just literally means land of the Afghans. That's all Stan means is land of. But yeah, Lucifer is a Latin name. It means light bearer. The devil's name actually, when he was an angel, was Hillel, not Lucifer. That was what it was in. Yeah, that's what it was in Hebrew. Lucifer. The reason that the Catholics glommed onto that with being the name of that fallen angel was actually that was the name of a king of Mesopotamia at the time, and he had actually been deposed, and his fall from grace was likened to that of the devil, and the parishioners were literally so stupid they couldn't understand what they were being told, so they cliff noted the sermon and they walked out of it like, okay, Lucifer fell from heaven. That's literally how that's why they would say Lucifer fell from heaven, when it was a gigantic long sermon that this priest gave about Lucifer, the deposed king of Mesopotamia, be likened unto the devil as his fall from heaven. But the peasants were too stupid, and that's how they shortened it. You have to realize there's actually a modern version of this. You guys are both probably familiar with the term Nimrod.
Yes.
Yep. That's
Nimrod.
the king.
Yeah, well, Nimrod in American English, and it's actually become worldwide at this point. Nimrod is another word for an idiot or a moron. You
Indeed.
actually get that from 1935, a Warner Brothers cartoon with Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, where Elmer Fudd, I think Bugs Bunny tricks him into going down a rabbit hole after him, and Bugs Bunny, like, he puts some pieces of wood on top of it and hammers them down with some nails, and like puts chains and shit, and turns to the audience. Breaking the fourth wall is the term they do it when they use it when they talk to the audience, and he breaks the fourth wall and says to the audience, "That ought to hold the little Nimrod." He specifically was referring to the Bible verse, Nimrod, a hunter great and terrible. But because Americans were getting ignorant even back then, they just thought that Nimrod was another word for an idiot. So literally, from the audience not being smart enough to know that Bugs Bunny was actually making a intelligent, tongue-in-cheek joke, they just took it to mean Nimrod means an idiot. And it actually, because of Bugs Bunny's popularity, it changed the language.
So it was slang.
It became slang because of that cartoon.
Damn. You're
People
dropping
did not
knowledge, bro.
Oh, I went to school for this shit. Like, I
didn't
tell
know
people
that.
I
That's
was
cool as shit.
Yeah, I tell people I'm a journalist, and like, a lot of people think I just throw that out there. Like, I'm not like one of these YouTubers who gets a GoPro and a microphone and is like, yeah, I'm a journalist. No, I actually wrote for a
You're the
newspaper,
real
and I was
deal.
I was on. I told Burnside, but WBAB was the radio station. That was our FM affiliate across the street. They have these two guys on their station called Opie and Anthony.
Yep, I know.
I didn't know until I didn't know until I started doing YouTube that they were nationally syndicated, because when I told people that I worked at the same radio station as Opie and Anthony, they would go through the fucking roof. But I'd met them before. I've met tons of these radio people before. I was never really overly impressed. I mean, you're right there, Pally?
Yeah, just knock something over.
All right. I talked to them before, and they were nice people. My cousin Brucey, he was nice. I never got the opportunity to talk to Casey Kasem, because whenever there was one of these mixers, you were not getting near the man. There was too big of a crowd.
Zoinks.
But yeah, I got to, you get to meet a lot of these people. Like, I had gone backstage at one point when I was trying to get into the industry, and I was at a 92 Free show for K-Rock here in New York. So I was in the back, and I was talking to all the people on K-Rock. Like, one of the guys I was actually talking to for a while was Crazy Cabby. He actually was on the Howard Stern show a bunch of times as a guest because Howard liked him. Crazy Cabby was an Iraqi veteran who was also, he drove a cab around New York City, but when he wasn't driving the cab, he was on the radio station. They had a lot of people there. There was Kane and Alta Boy, Raz, and Julie Slater. She actually, I wound up kicking it to Julie Slater for a little bit. But, I had gone to a few mixers in the industry there. Bless you that you're over there sneezing and coughing with your beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 minutes, definitely. Oh my god, that tastes terrible.
But I had been in the industry for a while, so like a lot of stuff I'm talking about here, my minor was anthropology, because I originally, like, I told Burnside I should actually look into doing it for a living. It's just one of those things I haven't been able to get my feet on the ground, which is scientific or technical writing. Basically, guys like me write textbooks for a living. That's what I went to school for. Long story short.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's a relatively intelligent guy if you'll give him the time of. That's the main problem. A lot of people don't want to listen to him because. Yeah. A lot of people don't like him because he's long-winded, he's intelligent, and he'll give his relative amount of sources cited. Pardon me here for the moment of his upchucking, because I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell they put in those Mickeys, but that tasted god awful, and I was not fucking inhaling.
Oh, Mickey.
Well,
bad fucking bottle
over here.
No,
you know what it is.
I thought the 12-pack was going to be okay because I've never tasted a bad bottle. Whatever they got in that was goddamn nasty.
You know what it is, Warlock? A lot of people, they'll hear when I tell them about, like, my father, and I tell them about my, like, growing up here and everything. That's the part that, most people, they got the interest in because they hear the accent and they want to hear about that stuff. I'm not being disrespectful. I don't give a fuck about it. I was only telling you because you don't know me. So I figured I'd fill you in. I only tell people on here because they're asking me questions about New York. I figure, fuck it, I'll tell them. I didn't know I was going to get people who were going to, like, have contempt towards me or jealousy or, look, I'm sorry, to these people. I'm sorry that you live in flyover country. I don't hold that against you. Yeah. I really do. I'm not blowing smoke when I say I genuinely like this country. Like, I've never seen it, really. I've only been on the East Coast. I want to drive across this country. I want to experience it, I mean,
hell,
I grew
30
up
years old and I've only ever been to Indiana and Michigan.
You poor bastard.
I know how you feel. I'm 41. I've only been up and down the East Coast. Like, I've driven through New England, and I've only driven as far down south. I want to say Baltimore. No. I've been down to the Carolinas. I've driven as far as the Carolinas. I was telling Burnside, part of the thing I'm glad that he's with Terra is I want him to fly out to New York, and I want to drive down to Florida just because I want to experience it. You know, it's gonna suck driving back, but you know, I mean, I might even just rent a car, drive down, and fly back. You know, just for the novelty of it.
True.
You know,
Be
just
fun.
yeah, because yeah,
Hey,
I
a lot of
mean,
people have done that by motorcycle. It's not very uncommon. Pardon me here while I clean the shit out of what I just spat upon.
yeah. Well, no, you know, like it's one of those things where honestly, if I had the bread, I'd hire a limo and get driven down to Florida just so I could enjoy the scenery, but not have to pay attention to the road.
Yeah.
That's why
Right,
I like traveling by bus, but at the same time, I don't. You know, because I take the bus out of Chinatown, and just for anyone who's ever going to travel, take the Chinatown bus because it's only like $5, and those commie drivers are fucking maniacs. We left late and got there early.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm sitting there, and this guy is driving the bus, and the bus is going around the turn, and you hear like, because the fucking tires are screeching, and it's great because these drivers are Chinese, so the bus driver is dressed like the fucking captain on a cruise ship. Like he's wearing an outfit like that, not the hat, but he's wearing like the whole outfit, and it's got the epaulets on the shoulders, and I love these. You can tell because they're Chinese commies. The guy is chain smoking. And he's driving a bus. You're not allowed to smoke on a bus. New York City. He didn't give a fuck. Guy didn't give a fuck. The window's wide open. He's chain smoking these cigarettes. He's driving the bus at like 85 miles an hour. It was great. I'll give those Reds credit. They can get you someplace on time.
Yeah, when the state regulates, you need to be at X, Y, and Z at aforementioned times. Although they will make the most impossible obstacles move before them.
Oh yeah. I love taking the Chinatown bus because it was great. I was sitting down in the DC office because when we went there, it was right when they legalized it. I was sitting in the bus station, fucking smoking a joint, waiting for the bus.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck it. I turned to one of the guys. I'm like, it's legal here now, right? He's like, yeah, why? And I said, no, I was just gonna blaze. He's like, oh, okay, good. Go nuts.
Oh yeah, that's the good thing about over here. They made it legal. They still naturally want you to have a license for it, but
Same way. in
you're on your
Michigan now.
property. You're
Well,
either
it's decriminalized. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
same difference here.
No, that still means that
Decriminalized.
they can fuck you if they want to. You have to be careful.
I had a
You have
cousin.
to be,
I had a cousin who was on Holland Beach last summer. Fired up a joint. DNR guy walked past her and arrested her and fined her. She's like, "What the hell? It's decriminalized." The guy was like, "Well, this is federal property. It's still a federal crime."
Yep.
Yep. That's one of the things that I hate, but I love at the same time because I'm aware of federal and state. I lucked out having, a truck driver for a father. Because when was growing up as a kid, my father would always point to street signs and he would explain to me, 2.5 ton excluded. Do you know what that means? I said, no. He said, anything over that weight is not allowed on here. I said, why? He said the Bureau of Weights and Measures has determined that according to New York State DOT regulations, 2.5 tons is the maximum weight that this roadway can handle. A vehicle that is over 2.5 tons cannot traverse this roadway because of exclusionary stipulations, i.e., their weight. Do you understand? I go, yeah, I understand. I was a kid, but this is how the old man taught me. So I grew up like when I was a kid. All we ever talked about at the table as a family, I did not know, and I still to this day could not tell you the name of one athlete other than like Michael Jordan or a few of the local ones like Darryl Strawberry or other people who were on the news constantly. I couldn't tell you a local athlete. I couldn't tell you any celebrities because all we talked about at my table were the DOT regulations and the new regulations handed down by the state for fishing, because we also had a crab fishing business on the side. It was a mom and pop that my father ran with my sisters and myself. So our dinner table talk was New York politics, DOT regulations, and whatever the newest things that were handed down by the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Fish and Games, respectively. Not exactly riveting,
No,
but
well, that's
but
not info.
yeah. And on the upside, it was one of those things where it made me really like and appreciate the system and how we have it separated with, like the checks and balances. And that's part of the thing is like Burnside and me. That's part of the reason we get along so well is I think he's the only other person aside from myself who has like he's a bit of an aficionado for policy and for the way that they have it set up. Like a lot of the people that we've talked to on here, it kind of like blows their mind when they talk to us because we're not law students, we're not lawyers,
Oh, but you
we're
know
fans
shit.
of it. Yeah, well, we're fans of it, is what it is, and that's the thing that blows their minds. Is they're like, how could you be a fan of policy and laws? Like, who the fuck likes that? And I'm like, I'm a person who watches C-SPAN the same way other people watch sports. I enjoy it.
Same.
I want to know what's going on in my country, and that's again, it all harkens back to like when we were in DC and like the thing with when we were arguing with all those people up over in the National Mall. That's the thing I like. I like, getting into a dialogue and like getting, not to sound like a dick. It's usually because I'm right. And I'm not like one of those people that, oh, well, you're always right. No, I don't open my mouth unless I know what I'm saying is accurate. That's what I mean. If I'm standing there talking,
Blab.
yeah, I don't do that. If I'm like, when we're in public, like when we're not on the stream, I'm actually nowhere near as talkative. Like, but if we're talking
I
on the
normally
subject,
have to carry the conversation. He chimes in every now and again. I either miss
Yeah.
something, or if there's anything that either the other person misses or anything that needs to be mentioned.
yeah,
He's normally the support when it comes to public speaking. I carry the burden of a good portion of public speaking. Normally, you got to get me into a good field, but under normal circumstances, I'm fairly well with the public. Aside from spilling a few things because it tastes like buttholes.
well, I really hate saying it. It's because of being on the air for so many years. Once I have the headphones on and I got a microphone in front of me and the light is on, I just go back into that mode because I did it for a few years. So I'm just used to doing it. That's part of the reason when we're in person, I'm completely different as a person. Like, because it's not like it's my on-air personality or anything. It's the same exact person I am. It's just my persona changes a lot when I'm on the air, specifically because I'm in the zone.
It's a relative tuning, is what it is.
Yeah, it's not like I'm putting on a performance or I'm LARPing or anything. It's just like
No. If anyone's doing a performance, it's me. I'm sitting here with a Pit Boy at my left arm from Fallout 76. And I'm sitting here with what would normally be considered an assault rifle flashlight. But because it's missing a certain something. Oh,
yeah.
Good thing it wasn't loaded. Haha, that's the inside joke. It's considered this.
But what I'm saying is, it's like if Michael Jordan is at the park. Now we're talking 20 years ago when he was in his prime.
Yeah.
If he's at the park and he's walking around in like his jogging suit or whatever he's got on his sneakers, and like a kid passes him the ball, yeah, more likely than not he's gonna drive. He'll bring the rain from downtown. I doubt he's gonna go run full steam and fucking slam dunk the thing because he's in his casual mode. But when he's on the court and he's in the Bulls Stadium, he's on the court, he's got his game face on. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I'm behind the mic and I got the headphones on, it's all game face. That's why it's a lot different than when you meet me in person, because that's when I'm in like relaxed chill mode. We're not on the air, so I'm not going to sit there and chew your ear as much unless we're on a topic. I'm just going to, that's because it's a whole different thing, because I'm used to being on the air for 3 to 4 hours at a clip and having to fill that air.
Well, we're
Yeah.
we're over 3 hours right now.
But that's my whole point. Time
Yeah.
flies when you're sitting there chewing your fucking mouth off,
Nice. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Shit, it's almost 3 a.m.
Yeah,
That's
crazy, ain't it?
That's about the time I decided.
So what is the deal with that gigantic friggin' doohickey? The thing on your arm.
Oh, this contraption?
Yeah.
Okay. Long story short. Okay. So that video game series I like, Fallout, is based around all the different iterations of this particular contraption. Now, because I decided that the Fallout 76 game was an absolute waste of money, I was going to knock this thing down on the pedestal and turn it into a prop for the Backline series that I was going to somehow try and make canon. My attempts to make it canon were to say that it was a remanufactured or reconstructed communications device. This thing is only so goddamn big that under normal circumstances you theoretically could take it apart, and within the spaces you'd have within the standard pieces or aftermarket pieces, you could actually put in functioning parts and make it work. So whenever I'm dicking around with this godforsaken button here, or this godforsaken button here, or this on and off switch here, the idea is in canon you have pieces on the inside that will correlate, so that you're making functional purpose.
Yep. Yeah, your
It's
map
combination.
and all that.
Yeah, it's a functional mix between making a swipe at Bethesda for sucking ass like no Northsider ever could in a sodomite pit, and making another swipe at people like comically myself being sophisticately uneducated in the field of being able to make aforementioned technologies potentially useful.
Well, I will say one thing. Have you played The Outer Worlds? Because it's fucking amazing.
Oh, I need to get that. My lead fan has told me for the past year to get that fucking thing, and I've been too broke. I really want to get that game. It's supposed to be really good.
You need to. It's amazing. It's,
Oh,
dare I say, better than New Vegas.
that's what I've heard. I've heard it took all of New Vegas and decided to improve upon on a galactic scale.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the reason why I wear this thing. Is because a lot of people that play the Fallout 76 game, you know what? I'll say this avidly. I'm pretty sure none of them will decide to violently masturbate against me. You know what? You guys are a bunch of sit there on that game, not because you had preconceived notions or anticipations that it was going to be a better game. You say, you know what? I'll give it a go. I'll try it. I'll see if I can violently masturbate to it. And you say, you know what? I'm going to get my bread and butter because it's a Call of Duty of Fallout. That ain't what it was supposed to be. And you want to try and make bread and butter go on it? Hey, go for it. Fuck you. I'm not going to be a sellout. I'm not going to sit there on a Bethesda game, on an Obsidian game, and go, I gun, do, done, did, or did with my multiple schisms and progressive ideologues, and say you should give me money for it. Fuck that. If I'm going to ask money from anybody, I'm going to ask you to make a purchase on my Redbubble or something other akin to that, because I want you to have something you're going to have use of. Do you have to punch people? Well, I have a coffee mug that's very good for punching people. You should use that. Sure. Hey, that's a sale right down and there. Most people that are playing their Fallout 76s, they're going to sit there, they're going to have their little thing on. They're not going to know anything about survival. They're not going to know anything about the real world. They're only going to know about canon.
That's why I made that. That's why I made that Discord server to get people off their fucking ass and do something.
Damn fucking right, Warlock, because that's the thing. If you're gonna be wearing this, you have some fucking know-how on how you want to get this. I lucked out on getting the fucking move. A lot of you motherfuckers ain't gonna have a Cletus that's gonna tell you how it is, and you're gonna get clustered. And that's the important thing. A lot of you guys, I know, want to sit there and get off the video games. Hey, I'm guilty of it. I come home from a long day of work. You know what I want to do? I want to put bullet holes in comments. I want to sit there with either my buddy Scoob here or my buddy Mickey, who has a very black tape, red tape, depending on how you want to interpret it, background, who is very wanted by the United Kingdom's government. And I want to sit there and I want to make a lot of big communists. And I like that game. I like Homefront. It's a very good anti-communist, pro-American game. It's very good. I enjoy the shit out of it, but a lot of people want to say it's anti-progressive, anti-liberal, anti-multi-gendered, quad-dimensional, warlord, and so on. And what? It's entertainment. Entertainment doesn't have a gender, so they can go indoor.
Escape.
Yep, that it is. Is escape they wish to conquer, and they can't because I can literally run circles on them by being a fucking jaguar. All I literally got to do.
I think I'm gonna have to get off here. My phone has like 3% left.
I was
Oh,
actually
yeah.
going to say, yeah, you might want to call it a night also because I'm starting to fall asleep. It's nearly 3 a.m. by me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably end it in a few short minutes. I'll end it on a little something. The important thing of this quarantine or lockdown is not to have the freedoms of the people regulated and disbarred and or prohibited, but to be thoroughly accepted. Because each and every individual of the United States of America needs to have the rights accepted. Because we as a people will stand together, united, for the common cause of defense.
Yeah.
Which is
So if we
why,
don't do that, we fall.
exactly, we will fall, and most certainly we will. Just as Rome fell to the Visigoths, so as we will to any potential external force. We can argue as far as to who's for and who's against. I'll tell you this. We shall stand united, or divided we shall hang. Band together with your neighbors. Stand together with those whom you consider to be allies, and assist those whom are within need that will not abuse you as a guardian.
Yeah, but at the same time, preserve humanity. Don't we have to?
Exactly. We as a people need to look forward to not only our nation, but the entire globe. Because the truth is, there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are enslaved to it because their governments are not as well prepared as ours. So they are taking exponential degrees of force. Now, under normal circumstances, that's pretty godforsakenly unconstitutional. Regrettably, in a lot of countries, they do not have the same constitution as we do. Which is why we rebelled in 1776 and we tossed them back out of the country in 1812.
That's about damn time we did it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting near that time because the reasons why are the nations of the world want us, the United States of America, to stand upon the podium and accept socialist, undemocratic authoritarianism and autocracy.
They want us to be like China.
That they do.
Why do you think
They
they
very
let
much
China
like
into the IMF? China's backed by Xi Jinping he went to school here. He's friends with Henry Kissinger.
Yep. Xi Jinping right now, Xi Jinping is in the middle of at least a decade-long purge. He's been purging people in that country for God knows how long now, but it's better part of a decade easily. Like one of the biggest problems that they're having right now over there. This is part of the reason, like, I don't know if I'm sure Trump has gotten the security briefings at this point, but what had happened during Obama's last term? Part of the reason that Kim Jong Il, which one is it now? Is it Kim Jong Un? Is that the one we're up to, or is it Il?
Oh,
It is Un. Okay, Kim Jong Un. Part of the reason he was receptive to Trump is his godfather was the head of the Politburo in the CCP, Zhou Yongkong. Zhou Yongkong got purged by Xi Jinping about 5 years ago, right before Trump ran for president. So she basically took Kim Jong Un's guy that he had in the Chinese government and whacked him, which was amazing when that happened because Zhou Yongkong was like, he was Xi Jinping's own personal Iceman. So actually, you know what? I don't think he wasn't Xi Jinping's personal Iceman. His predecessor, Ho Chi Minh, the guy who did the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Oh God.
He was.
Ho Chi Minh. He made a lot of.
Human Trail.
He made a. Yeah, it comes from that. It comes from the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
No,
And it
not Ho
comes
Chi.
from-
No, not Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh, the guy that they call
The
Hama.
butcher.
Hey,
No, they call.
sorry to interrupt real quick, but I got to dip out. I got 1% on my phone left.
All right, it was a pleasure streaming with you, brother. Nice meeting you
Oh,
too.
same. We'll have to do this again.
We will. We'll
Definitely.
about next Saturday. If not next Saturday, the Saturday after that. I'm going to be doing this from every week forward that I have a day off.
All right, very cool. So what was I saying to you?
Ho Chi Minh.
Oh yeah, no, Ho Chi Minh, not Ho Chi Minh. Two different people.
Okay.
He
Thank you.
was actually called, no problem, Hama is his nickname. It means toad because he literally looks like a fucking toad. He's the guy who, the Tiananmen Square massacre, that was him. So Xi Jinping took over after him after he retired. So I guess one of the people he got rid of was Zhou Yongkang, which was Kim Jong Un's godfather, and he was the head of the Politburo, which is the Chinese CCP's version of the KGB.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So Trump comes into office right after China kills off their own version of the KGB's head, who was the godfather to the dictator of North Korea. So basically,
Right.
Trump came in at just the right time. That's the reason that kid was so receptive. I'm not trying to detract from the president. I'm just saying, like, Xi Jinping literally just killed the kid's godfather right when Trump waltzed through the door. So the timing was fucking universally perfect.
Which is good because that explains why North Korea has given no resistance to China despite the missile.
Yeah, exactly. No, the kid actually liked his godfather, apparently. You know, he apparently really liked this guy, and they killed him because it's politics, and the kid took it personal.
As you
Like,
should.
I remember watching it. It was one of those things, I guess because it became publicly known that Zhou Yongkang was Kim Jong-un's godfather, because I don't think that was public knowledge for years. And then all of the pictures started surfacing, and they're like, why the hell is the head of the Politburo constantly with the fucking dictator from North Korea? And then it came out that he was his godfather. Fucking wild, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Small country, small connections. Regrettably, that's normally how it works.
So when are we killing this thing?
Basically. As soon as we kill this sucker, I'm basically gonna wrap it up all night, go to bed, collapse the green screen and all that. Whatever. Now that Warlock's gone, it'll probably be whenever you want to call it, more or less.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just running out of shit to talk about that the audience is probably the two guys in fucking Wisconsin that are watching us. But, you know, it's just I'm running out of shit to keep talking about. Like, I hate saying this. Tonight was like Scooby's greatest hits. I just rehashed the same shit I've been talking about for the past 2-3 years to Warlock. So that's another thing, too. These people keep saying that I'm a liar and I make shit up. Bro, I only got like the same 12 stories that I keep telling over and over. I mean, anyone who knows, anyone who knows someone who's a liar would tell you they always have tons of stories. My stories never change. They're always the same shit.
Yeah, different. The same stories with a little bit of different iteration. But more or less the same story.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm doing it off of memory.
Yep. And that's exactly why it's true.
Yeah. And the other thing of it is, depending on what time of day you get me, that depends on what iteration you get. You get me at this time of day, you're going to get the cliff notes. You get me around dinner time, the same thing I took 10 minutes telling Warlock is going to take an hour.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like calling it a night myself anyway, just because I feel like I wanted to get off the air so I could show you a few things that I don't feel like showing the audience. No offense, audience. It's just, a lot of shit I got to talk to him about is, one, is boring, and two, it's business related. So, yeah nothing you guys can know about.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of professional paperwork that he wants me to get out of that. I really hate paperwork, if you couldn't tell from the background with all the anarchistic nonsense. I don't like doing paperwork.
Well, good. Then you're not going to like this. This isn't paperwork. It's a few things that I finally finished hammering out. I wanted to bounce off of you. So, for once, you get to listen.
Oh, shit. Nice. All right. All right. Let me find a good note to end it on. I think it's good.
I got a good note to end it on.
All right, cool.
We're both still alive, and we're going to try to keep it that way for the foreseeable future, because right now we're both locked down under martial law, and I got about 72 hours before all hell starts to break loose outside. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's going to get bad fast. We haven't had a looting yet. Yeah, we haven't had a looting yet. I'm waiting for the looting to start. So I give it maybe 72 more hours. Because the lockdown's only really been in effect a few days, and people haven't been hit by it yet. It's going to become pandemonium soon. So, yeah, that's the note to end on. The note to end on is right now we're good, and God willing, we stay good. And hopefully I'm wrong, and it doesn't get crazy out there. That's the last thing I think any of us want.
All right. Just a minute. I'll give a look. You know what? By the most important thing during this lockdown is look out for yourselves, look out for your family. If you are on an understanding means, look out for you. The government will not save you. You need to save yourselves. You need to save your nation. The country isn't relying upon the Marines, the Army Rangers, the National Guard. It's relying upon the citizens. Because more likely than not, there are and will going to be people who are going to shoot, kill, and steal for their means to get by during the quarantines within the United States and all other minor outlying territories and anywhere abouts in the planet Earth that are under this aforementioned quarantine. We as a people, as the United States of America, need to simply stop being a bunch of whiny little shit and prepare ourselves. Time's gone, been past for us to procure our means of a Second Amendment self-defense and to attempt to, by a First Amendment means, secure our means of diplomacy. If we as a nation do not stand together, we most certainly will hang separately. Because as we know, we have been a nation divided as a free state. Democrats hate the Republicans hate the Democrats. If you are a person who's lived in the Cold War, you've seen this before. Democrats, they want authoritarian communism. The Republicans, they want the same thing, but from a more anti-progressive communist perspective. I'm not going to tell them they're fascist because they don't have a state police force. They're going to have to copy paste the same thing we have now. So, you want to split hairs on it? So, we're going to have to do and we're down to make sure we don't do anything too illegal because there's a lot of people that are going to hear this. They're going to panic. Be afraid. Oh, damn right they're going to panic. You know, people are going to realize I can't get my sodomy at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning from my pegging boy, and they're going to decide that they're going to rob the alley. And the alley is going to blow them to a bunch of giving spits. And the CPD are going to be sitting there going, how in fucking what the fuck? And the manager from the alley is going to go, well, I got myself a 12 gauge this and that, and I did, as you mentioned, this from aforementioned and that aforementioned law, and the president said, fuck you, I'm going to buy it in the same day, you could die. And this guy died. So what do you want me to fucking tell you? And they're going to write him off. They're not going to give him a ticket for anything or a citation. And that's going to be that. Because people are going to attempt to steal. To steal, you're going to have to enforce your rights. If they're not there to present court, you better hope you're lucky as our buddy Norwalk over in Michigan, where they're only taking the TP and the canned goods.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's a done deal.
Well, let's just hope that they get a handle on this shit quick. So I'll tell you right now, I'm terrified, man, of what's going on out there. I love this country. I don't want to see it fall. And I just can't believe this country was doing so good and this fucking commie flu had to come whipping through here, and now whatever, man. We got to bounce back from this. That's all I'm saying, because I am not going to get done in by fucking Chinese bat soup. That's not the fucking way I'm going to die.
I feel you. Hey, I have just as equally heroic ideals for going out during this hearsay nonsense that they're closing a sentence. I get you. You remember all the times I went on and on and on about the Ukrainian Civil War and the Spanish Civil War?
Yeah.
Same difference.
I remember. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just, out of anything that could have killed me. Fucking,
you don't want the coronavirus.
Well, I look at what it could be, what Corona came from, and it's either, okay, bat soup, snake kebabs, or fucking diced pangolian. Those are the three things that could have gave it to these little fucks. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, You motherfuckers. Really? You can't have a hamburger? You gotta say, you can't go out and fucking. Where are your wontons? Where is all the shit that I get when I go into your restaurants? Why the fuck are you people eating these big scaly rodents and fucking flying mice? What the hell's the matter with you? Like, who the fuck puts snakes on kebabs? Seriously, you fucking god! For God's sake. Where is the chickens? Where is the pork? I mean, I know that they got them in those countries. I mean, every time they show you a documentary, you see one of these guys driving what looks like a scooter, and behind him, it's this big truck thing full of fucking boxes of chickens, and they're all friggin' squawking with feathers flying all over the place. Seriously, you ever see the footage of Chinese traffic? Like,
yeah, I've seen it before.
That's what I'm saying.
By the Chinese Communist Party. That's why
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe that's what's going to do in this country is unbelievable, man. And it just pisses me off that I got to sit here and I got to hear Democrats arguing about how they're upset that he's calling it the Chinese oh my God, he's calling it the Chinese virus. Yeah, and well, we find that's racist. You fucking dirty leftist pricks. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start calling it we're gonna start calling it the Charlie Chan virus. How about that? We'll start calling it, and you know what? This is the #1 sun strain. How about that? Fucking dirty bastards. Oh well, we don't like that. We find it offensive. Go shit in your hat. Find it offensive.
Hey, make sure you remind me of that before I stream next Saturday.
Which part?
That's a good one. The whole fucking thing, Charlie Chain virus, shit in your hat.
Oh, fine. Yeah, sure, no problem. I mean, this shit that I gotta hear. You got no idea. I heard her. I heard my wife before on the phone with my sister-in-law, and it's funny because you know they're both Democrats, but my wife has developed a lot of common sense from being with me at this point. I mean, she still does Democrat shit, but you know, like she's looking at the phone all wide-eyed and looking at me when her sister's scoffing about going and getting a gun, and I'm like, the governor said, "Go get a gun." We're curtailing the police because police are people too, and they're not super beings. They're not immune to this virus. They're gonna get it, so we're not sending them out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so she chuckles at this. She finds it amusing. And I said to my wife, I said, you might want to say goodbye to her because where she lives, it's literally a stone's throw from the worst friggin' hood. But whatever, no one wants to listen. I think that should be the note that we end this on because I'm starting to get delirious. It's nearly 4 a.m. What is it? It's 20 after 3.
Let me check the clock. Yeah, it's about 3:20, roughly.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. I don't know. I've been on here with you since what? I think midnight my time.
Yeah, just about.
That's when I hopped on. You've been on for about, I think, a half hour, maybe a little bit more, because you sent me the link. I didn't get the chance to hop on because she was being herself. So, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, let's kill this, man. I got to go to sleep. I'm really fucking tired.
All right, yeah. I'm going in a few here. I think I should say something relatively patriotic.
You have been for like the past 20 minutes.
That's an old habit.
Whatever you want to say, man. It's your stream.
Yeah. I hate to be a salad fester. You know how I hate those guys on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's a good idea. How about I stick it to those guys from the north side? All
Okay.
right. This is Hegwish calling from the south corner of the occupied counties and areas of Chicago, Illinois. This is Hegwish calling. All people of the United States of America and the republics there within the United States of America. This is Hegwish calling. We are under occupation by not only the United Nations, but the United States of America. We as the people, as not only Hegwish and the greater parts of Chicago, Illinois, must stand against this occupation. We as the people need to ensure that we, just as the Home Army, back within the eras of 1930 and 1940 within Europe, stood against the National Socialist Party of Germany, must stand now against the Democratic Nationalist Convention of America. Because Hegwish is calling, we the people of America are under the occupation. Right now, as it stands, we as the people must have proper papers, just as then within Warsaw and the other outlying territories of Poland, as within Chicago and within America, must have papers to permit travel to and fro. If you wish to go to work, if you wish to shop, if you wish to go anywhere from your home to anywhere is bound, you must have these papers to go, as the government will accept them. We must stand against it, as we as a people. If we are not infected, if we are not contaminated, if we have our citizenry bound to the Constitution and the laws that lay within the Republic, have free right of travel within all 50 states, not limited to just Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana, but all 48 territories and the other two outlying have the freedom and right of travel. Hegwish calling. All peoples within the Chicago area need to ensure that they have proper means of personal protection. Whether you have your standard 9mm, 22, or other alternative forms of caliber protection, you must ensure that you have it, as other vagrants and individuals of a less than reputable aforementioned and caliber will have. There will be many individuals of gangs, looters, vagrants, and vagabonds that will come to take you and your rights, and you need to ensure that you stand against them. Because under times of this distress, it is not the government that will save you, but you and your neighbors. And this is why Hegwish is calling. Because you, the people, need to band together and stand as many united against the front of this apocalypse. Because it is not the government that will save you, it is you and your people. You must stand together, not only as a neighborhood, but as a nation. As we and many people have stood together in 1776 to overthrow the British from the United States of America to create this great nation that we have, and then again overthrow them and deport them again in 1812 when they had the follow-up war aforementioned then. We must now overthrow them within the years of 2020 to ensure that we do not fall under occupation of the United Nations and all other countries other than the United States of America and its democratic republic. Yes, I have said democratic republic, as we are a republic that has the structure of a democracy. Do not let any others deceive you. They will want to divide brother against brother, cousin against cousin, and any other individuals against each other, because this is a nation currently, because of this contamination, under occupation. This is Hegwish calling. All citizens of the United States of America need to ensure that they have attended to their Second Amendment rights and have procured a means of self-defense, because the government will not come to save you. You are going to have to save yourself. You are going to have to save the nation as a whole. If you cannot and will not because of your circumstances, you will have to hope someone else can. This is Hegwish calling. This is the state of Illinois, currently under occupation, as the home front prepares. Palejava Volsh. This is the end of this transmission. God be with you, and God bless the United States of America. Resist, rebel, reclaim the 50 states of the United States of America. God bless and God be with you. Amen.
Peace and chicken grease, motherfuckers.
Ending this transmission. Ending broadcast now.